getting back to the whole point of it, I feel like the deathcore revival really brought back that brutality and really brought back that like raw emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know about you guys or like anybody else watching, but deathcore was a way for me to like cope with, like, I was a very angry teenager. I come from kind of like a really dysfunctional family, and like that was a way for me to like process rage and emotion and be like, okay, like I'm not the only one that feels this, you know what I mean?
Real quick before getting into today's episode, just wanted to shout out a few quick things. First of all, we have a Patreon. For as low as $1.50 a month, you can get early access to these episodes as well as your name in the credits. And with the $5 tier, you can gain access to member-only channels in our Discord server. Secondly, we have merch. 2 designs that we absolutely love. You can find those over at indiemerchstore.com. And last but not least, we do these podcast recordings live on Twitch. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, see these as they happen. We do those every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. Yeah, that's it. Links to everything I just mentioned will be in the description, along with links to our Discord server and our other socials. That's it. That's all I got to plug. Enjoy the episode. We got our boy Koda in the call with us
What's
right
up?
now. How are you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. I mean, first of all, we're excited for this because we've been talking about you guys for a while. I mean, we talked on the pod, right, Dom? Like a couple of times about execution and stuff. So we're fans, dude. Like we love what you guys are doing. So of course we're excited, and people are too. I mean, when we announced it, people are stoked. So can't complain, man. We can complain about gaming, but about that, I'm not complaining.
Thanks, man. We've been grinding, dude. We've been grinding. So I'm glad you guys are fucking with it.
You guys have had quite the year, because it's like I was kind of looking back on what you guys have been doing and didn't really fully realize that everything with your vocals on it came out this year. It's been a lot of music, right? So you're kind of intro to the band with like
it's been a lot.
The EP. Then we had the summer songs, the summer demo, and now this new stuff that's coming out. So it's been a whole lot, eh?
Yeah, it's been a lot, man. Like I feel like the summer demo was just like that transitionary period from Without Regret, Without Remorse, where we really like started to lock in our sound and grow. Like, of course, we're still growing and like, you know, exploring what feels like execution. And I'm really, really excited for everybody to hear this EP that's coming out December 1st. It's really cool. So if you're fucking with the new single, I feel like you guys are really gonna be, you know, happy to hear what we got on this new EP coming out.
We gotta set the stage here. I've got a couple. I've got 2 things I need you to clarify for us real quick. So
yeah, what's up?
Koda Kobain is not your name. So what's the deal here? What are we talking about?
It's just I didn't want my full name on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, I like my privacy and stuff like that. And I thought Koda Kobain goes together. And, you know, I've spent a lot of my life super depressed. So I'm sure you can take that for what it is. So, yeah, it's just deathcore. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun. It's like a little persona. It's pretty cool.
Look, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, the name's out there. I'll just say that it's findable pretty easily. So
hey,
look,
dude, I'm trying to work on it.
Okay. And then the other thing, look, I know you're not. That's not where you're at now anymore. But Louisville. All
right,
you got to teach the Frenchies.
That's a huge thing. All right, okay. So here in Kentucky, especially since you guys are French, there's Versailles, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are familiar with that. In Kentucky, everybody calls it Versailles.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so it's technically Louisville, but if you're from Louisville, it's Louisville. You know what I mean?
There
So
we go.
it's
You
it's so
just made
funny,
it 10
like going
times more
to.
confusing for us. God damn it.
Yeah. Hey, dude, it's the South, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna say shit wrong. It's just gonna happen. But yeah, it's great. Like going to shows in Louisville, it's so funny. You see people on stage and they're like, "What's up, Louisville?" And it's like, all right.
Does a band get more praise if are they more enjoyed if they happen to know how to properly say it?
Oh yeah, everybody goes crazy. They're like,
there we
"Oh
go.
fuck, they've been here before." You know what I mean? So yeah,
It's
dude.
a rite of passage. Knowing
Yeah,
how to say
absolutely.
it. You usually get it right on your second time through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but okay. So I kind of alluded to this, but yeah, you're in North Carolina now. You're not actually
Yeah.
in Louisville anymore. So what's
Yeah,
the deal
man,
there?
I
You moved
moved.
there not too long ago, right?
Yeah. So I have a wonderful girlfriend and I met her and we were talking for a while and my situation in Kentucky was kind of like fizzling out a little bit. The economy's fucked. It's, kind of hard. So like I went down there. Originally I was like, I'm a piercer, so like we do this thing called guest spots where we just go and we work at a shop, check it out. I was gonna go down there and do a guest spot and see how it was. And I found a shop that I was making really good money at. So I was like, dude, the money's down here. My girlfriend's down here. It just kind of made sense. But also like, I'm only like 4 hours away from Kentucky. So it's like, I'll just drive. It's not like a big deal. Plus we live in the age of the internet. Like we were talking about earlier, I got like this set up. So like if I ever need to like re-record a track or something like that, I can send it to whoever I need to send it to. And I go like practice, twice a month with the homies and we just do what we got to do. But, I miss it sometimes. Like I miss my friends. Like shout out all my people. I love you guys. Shout out the 859 and the 502, definitely. But it's just like, I don't know, dude. I came down here and dude, I shit you not. It was probably like 2 weeks ago, right? I put it on my story and some people saw it, some people didn't. But like in my front yard, there was 2 black bears, like in my tree,
Okay.
like birds. Like, so we have a Ring camera and like, I'll just be laying in bed and my girlfriend, I go like, "Oh, there's bears outside." And like, she'll show me on the Ring camera and I'm like, dude, this looks like fucking AI. Like, that's insane to me. So, but other than that, I mean, like I live in this little town called Black Mountain and it is like so gorgeous. I love it here.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm curious because like you said you're a piercer, right? So like I would like to know for absolutely no reason other than I'm curious. Favorite piercing to make, and also I'm old now. I'm curious to know what's current right now. What are most people? Because last time I went, I had scalp on my hair, horrible experience, and it was all about stretch ears, right? But we're in 2025.
Yeah, dude, I just recently saw you talking about that and I was like, oh man, they didn't give you any anesthesia or anything. You're a warrior, dog. Most people are getting at least some sort of anesthetic nowadays. So like that's brutal, tough shit. Like, and I know how I've seen it happen and it's insane. So the fact that you went through that and then you got your face tattooed, holy
Same
shit.
day. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest though, like that was a lot of times in my life, I'm like, oh, I don't have an ego and stuff. That was fully ego. Like that time, the tattoo thing was fully because they kept refusing face tattoos. Like, and I understand why. I was 18. They think you're gonna ruin your life and stuff like I understand that. But after 5 freaking tattoo shops of people just being like, no, we're not tattooing in your face, and inside I'm like, I'm gonna have face like no matter what. It's just a question of who's doing it. And I got out of there, here's bleeding, and he's like, I would do it now. We're doing it. Like that was fully just we're doing it right now.
You already got the job stopper, might as well commit, right?
To me, honestly, I was like, at this point, like, what's going to be worse than what I just did? Like, I was just like, worst case, I pass out and he keeps tattooing and I get out of here. Like, that's my worst scenario. Like, who cares? So I was happy that I survived. But no, I'm just curious to know because things have changed. I'm just curious to, like, what's current in the piercing world, and like what's your favorite thing to do, maybe?
Oh,
or
dude.
maybe it's always different, who knows?
So like, we've always got our bread and butter, ear piercings, nostrils, nipple piercings. That's what's mainly paying my bills. Now, as far as like what my favorite thing to pierce is I love doing septum piercings. I feel like they look fucking awesome on everybody that gets them. Haven't seen somebody with a septum piercing and been like, that makes you look stupid. Exactly. You know what I mean? That shit's hard, dude. It's hard as fuck. And I also love doing large gauge piercings too. So like, if like, for instance, I had a client probably about 2 weeks ago. He was like, man, I've always wanted to get gauges and stretch my ears and stuff like that, but like it takes forever and I'm just so impatient. And I was like, let me pierce you at a fucking 4 and stretch that bad boy to a 2, like immediately. And he was like, you can do that? I was like, hell yeah, I can do that, man. So we did it, and it's just, I don't know, it's awesome. It's fun, dude. I love doing it. It's not very common. So, whenever I get the chance to bust out like a big fucking 4G needle or 2G needle even, like I am stoked. I'm like, it's Christmas, let's go. You know what I mean?
They're not
That's
stoked,
awesome.
but you are.
Dude, actually, believe it or not, everybody I've done it to, they're like, oh, that's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? But I also clamp the needle a little bit. Like some people think like, oh, you just grab the needle and you take a chunk out of somebody's ear. Like that's kind of like a common myth. Like the way a tri-bevel needle works is it creates like a small incision and then it slides up that bevel, and that's what creates that hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not
So,
like,
like,
a one shot. Yeah.
Exactly. So if I clamp that needle down a little bit, make it a little bit flat, it's a lot more comfortable. It's not as like intense, especially if, I'm following it up with a taper and like a stone or a glass plug. Like, it makes it a little bit more bearable to handle.
I have a little quick story about the septum thing, because like my septum, that's the question I have, believe it or not, of how all things in my DMs, it's always people asking the size of my septum all the time. And the piercer back then, who was stretching my septum when I was younger, she would be disappointed every time, because like it's known that like stretching a septum is pretty painful. And I discovered a trick that makes it painless entirely. And every time she was disappointed, because she was like, what's up? I'm like, felt nothing. And she's like, stop. I'm like, seriously? And the trick is so stupid. You couldn't look more stupid than that. But I would do for days just that all the time, like all the time, to loose it up. And every single time. And I would skip like pretty good sizes, because now it's a bit, I was even like bigger than that for a while. It's a 6G, so it's not too bad, but symptom wise, it's like bigger. And every time she would just do it, and she would be like, so I'm like, nothing. And she would, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
she was used to people. So it's a good trick for people who wants to stretch.
Oh yeah, 100%. I always tell people, like, if you're stretching your ears, obviously like patience is key. If you're just going back to back, like trying to stretch the highest you can get, like it's gonna pop. Like you're gonna lose blood flow in that area. I believe you talked about it on a podcast not too long ago.
Yep.
Where it's just gonna snap and have, the one with Josh. We're both like,
The
one
ear.
yeah, the one ear, it happens, man. But yeah, no, it will snap, but like always, like the best way to do it before you're gonna stretch, if anybody's watching and they plan on stretching any of their piercings, make sure that before you stretch, you take a really hot shower, get like some jojoba oil or like some holy butter, even like some vitamin E, and just massage the area. Massaging daily like that is gonna bring more elasticity for the skin. And the more you fuck with your ears, dude, the more that it's going to stretch. Like, wearing glass, stuff like that helps too. Something that's got like some weight to it. You don't want to, you don't want to wear like ear weights. That'll thin your shit out really bad. But like, definitely wearing like stone or glass, that's the way to go.
Yeah, the problem with me too is like people think it's because I had surgery that I don't have a lot of lobes. It was like that before. I never had like lobes in general. And I look at the piercer, and he's just like the first person I talked to, and he's like, yeah, you want 3-inch, it won't happen with those lobes. And I'm like, and as stupid as it can be, I took it as like, yeah,
it's a challenge. Yeah. Oh, dude, I've encountered that a lot. honestly. I've encountered it a lot, and I'm always like, it's your body. I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you some advice. Like, I'll meet people that have like lobes that are kind of like attached to their face, and they're like, I really want to stretch my ears big, and I'm like, I hate to break it to you, but like, unfortunately, like genetically, you're probably not going to be able to do that. I'm sure there's some body modification artist out there that's figured out a way to like slice and maybe
Slice
take
it up,
advantage of
make it
that
loose.
area. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, some people have it, some people don't. Like, I saw with Josh, you were talking about like you wanted like the Ricky Hoover effect, and like I think anybody who grew up that grew up with deathcore, especially anybody born before 1995, like that was the look, that was the move. And even I wanted to do that, but unfortunately, like my skin doesn't have elasticity, so like that. So like the highest I've ever gotten is like 3/4. Our fucking drummer Zach though, dude, that guy's like fucking insane, dude. Like he's able to stretch quick. And usually he's fine. Now his septum, I've stretched his septum every single time, and dude, like it's been painful. Like there's always him screaming, and I'm like, let's get it through. Like I remember one day he called me and was like, yeah, I've been trying to stretch my septum like all morning. I can't figure it out. And I like showed up, and I just went pop, and he was like, oh, like it about killed him. But he's a thug, so he thugs it out, and he's good to go.
It's a weird thing to stretch. I'll be honest, like a septum, like because I did both, right? I had like stretch ears and stuff. It's septum is just like a weird thing to stretch. Like the feeling is completely. People think it's gonna be like similar. It's very different in terms of. It's not close. Like it's just another. Like they both hurt, obviously, but it's just. That's my favorite question, by the way. I had like 2 inches here, and like, does it hurt? No, not at all. Like it just happened. Like it's just nothing. Just woke up, boom, the big holes in my ears, all good.
What happened to your ear?
What happened to my ear is I'm basically what was going on, man, is I wasn't moisturizing my ears as much as I should in the winter. And obviously it's cold outside, the humidity is really low, so my ears were like super dry. And I think I was at a show, and I just got caught really good in the side of the head, lost my plug, and it was like cracked real bad. And I was like, I'm gonna have to retire it. If not, I'm gonna have the meat legs going, dude. I wasn't trying to deal with that.
To actually ripping out.
No, I was not about to deal with that, dude. I've seen that happen in person, and it looks traumatic. It looks traumatizing as fuck, and I'm not personally trying to go through that. So
I went through that, and I was lucky quote unquote enough that, let me tell you, once my parents saw that there was an opportunity to get rid of my stretch ears, they were like, where do we need to go to fix that? Like I was so disappointed, right? Because I wanted like Ricky Hoover, like my goal size, like I wanted 3-inch basically was or even bigger if I could. Like I wanted like big ears, and I was losing that, right? But the face that my parents made when they're like, so it's over and we can fix that, and again, like I don't want to complain, I was lucky enough to have like a good surgery on it, but just to your point, it is devastating because you spend so much time, right, stretching, and you're a piercer, so it's you have like an image in mind, it takes forever, and then it's over basically. It's like it's the biggest disappointment too, dude. Like having to downsize, like I've had to downsize multiple times in my life, and it just sucks because like you'll get progress and you're like, this is going good, and then you get really confident and get ahead of yourself, and then you're like, oh, I fucked myself up real bad. So I remember one time I think I was stretching from 2 to a 0. And like, that there's like a big millimeter gap from like 2 to 0 and then 0 to 00. And I think I was like probably like 19. I was in the back of my friend's car, and he had like, and it was the dumbest shit ever. So he had it was one of those like Hot Topic. You remember when Hot Topic was making tapers for people to wear all the time?
it was like a Gurr from Invader Zim taper. And it was just gnarly. And I was like, So I like sat in the back of his car with no lube and just slid it through. And I was like, we're good. Like it went in and it didn't even hurt. And I get home and my ear is just like this purple donut. And I went to sleep that night and I woke up and I called it the pus plug because like I went to the bathroom, the plug was out and I looked in the mirror and there was just like dried pus like inside of there. It was fucked, man. Like, yeah. So sometimes like we have to learn those hard lessons. Like I remember the shop I was working at the time, like I got called every name in the book and they roasted me for like a month over that shit. But you live and you learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Part of it. It's part of it, dude. No, I was just curious. Thank you for answering all of that. But like, it's an interesting world, and let's be honest. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like the crossover between like metal
it's huge
and, like,
crossover.
And, I mean, it's kind of, it goes together, kind of. So
100%,
I'm sure
man.
you talk. Do you have sometimes some people who, I mean, they know what you do and stuff like that, and then they have a super like, does these interactions maybe happen?
So I think it was our EP release, and we have this buddy. I'm just gonna call him Pink Shirt Guy because I don't want to like out him. Like he's kind of known on Reddit as Pink Shirt Guy, and he's just like one of the hardest fucking moshers I've ever met. But what's great is he's an EMT, so I've literally watched him break somebody's nose, and then like after the set, be like, did I do that? And he's like, yeah, like I think my nose is broken. He'll like he literally brings like a big backpack full of like emergency like supplies and shit. And like I've watched him literally grab somebody's nose and just like pop it back into place. He's fucking awesome, man. But like there was this one time, like I said, it was our EP release. It was right after our set. The show was over. And I saw this kid, like, he was kind of like crying. So I was like, hey, dude, like, are you good? What's going on? And I noticed he was, his nose was all bloody and fucked. And he was like, yeah, dude, I got hit really hard in the face. Like, he's like, I think my nose is broken, but I'm really just worried about my septum piercing. I was like, like, tilt your head back. I'll take a look at it. Like, I'm a professional piercer. Like, I can help you out. And yeah, there's been a couple times where like I've had to like kind of check on somebody at a show because their piercing got ripped out, or people do ask like, where do you work at, stuff like that. And I've pierced fans and friends, and I've had clients that are into this kind of music, and like we just start talking. They'll be wearing like a cool shirt and I'll be like, oh, like you fuck with that band, like cool, like my band's playing a show, you should come out, check it out. So yeah, like the music world and the tattoo world is like kind of synonymous with each other at this point.
Oh yeah, you got to be fucked up for both, right? There's just a special kind of person
absolutely.
for both things involved.
Yeah.
Nobody's even trying to be normal at this point. Like, let's just be honest. Like, it was never like, it's kind of and I'm sure it happened to you as well. But it's weird. But like very young, like the first time you go in tattoo shops and places like that, it's kind of just like, oh, so this is gonna be my play. Oh, that's the world that I'm supposed to be in. Type thing. Like that's and I think that's what happens to a lot of people. It was funny, people thought I worked there all the time because I was there all the time, right? So after a while, instead of just saying I don't work here, I just kind of learned the system, and I would listen. I would just be like, oh, so you want an appointment with who and stuff, and I was kind of working there at the same time. And then there would be like, do you work here? And I was like, oh no, actually I don't.
Dude, that's actually funny. Like that's almost the exact way of how to get into the tattoo industry. Like I have people ask me all the time, like, oh, like, how did you get into becoming a piercer? Like, what'd you do? How'd you get an apprenticeship? And honestly, dude, I just found a shop that I really loved. I think one of my friend's dad was getting tattooed there, and he was like, you guys want to come? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, of course. That's cool. So I went there. And like, I just started taking all of my friends there. I started hanging out all the time. Honestly, I was probably super fucking annoying. And, at a certain point, dude, they're just like, get to work, like pick up a broom, like sweep, or like, hey, can you answer that call? I'm in the middle of a tattoo, like something like that. And, that's kind of how like I got into the industry, was just,
The cheap labor, man.
Just being there. Yeah.
It's the
Absolutely.
best way though, because it's super natural. Because then when you work, the clients have seen you, like part of it, you know everybody. It's like probably the best way to be there. Because it's kind of I know it depends on the place, but it's kind of often like someone. It's like, oh, I could work there. Like I don't. It's not one of those places like I would like to do the reception here, and like you never went there in your life, and you worked. It must be rare getting tattoo shops, right?
It's not like your traditional like put in a job application online or like bring a resume, like paperwork, stuff like that. Usually, especially like somebody trying to get in, the best way is just, bring your friends, bring them snacks, bring them little gifts, stuff like that. And become friends with the people that work there. And eventually they're going to be like, hey, dude, I think you're cool. Like, you want to do what I do? It's a trade. So it's not really like something that you can like go to school and learn. So it really just comes down to like meeting the right people, and that's how you get your foot in the door.
It's cool, man, and it's cool to hear you talk about it because I can see you love that world and
oh yeah, man, it's my other passion,
cool.
dude. Yeah, absolutely. Like I love my job. It's the coolest job in the world. Like I'm able to look how I want to look, and I'm able to do what I want to do, and I make pretty good money doing it. You know what I mean? Like not trying to like boast or anything, but like the demand's pretty high. Like it's not like how it was like 10 years ago where it's like seen as kind of like a fringe thing, especially with like Pinterest and stuff like that. Like we've got people that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, would have never gotten a tattoo coming in and being like, like I would like to have my mom's birth flower, or like my dad passed away and I want to get his handwriting, something like that. I feel like it's become very popular in the mainstream, and it's just it's good. It's really cool.
I'm very happy that we're past the point where for everybody it was supposed to mean something. I'm glad that now they understood
oh yeah,
that
dude.
It's like not supposed, the amount of time, I'm not shitting you, like that my arms, like it's Mortal Kombat. What do you want me to like how can I explain like
dude,
this one is
have
fully
you
black, like why did you do that? I mean like
I feel
why
you.
did you do that? Because it looks pretty cool. Like
looks
I don't
fucking cool,
know,
dude.
like why. And I would have fun sometimes and make up things. Like I told people that it's because my mom had like a flower shop or something. Like I made up like I told people that I once told someone that my anchor was because my dad got caught as a pirate, like a real life pirate, and with his boat and everything. And people, and they don't know you, these people, so you could be making up, and they want to be polite, right? So they're like, your dad was what? Yeah, he was a real, like, and people would be like, I didn't know it was still a thing. And I was like, oh yeah, it's still really with the flag and the skull, yeah, everything. Like he would, and he got caught, so to honor him. And people were like, wow, like I knew it had to mean something. And I was like, you're right, it really does. So I had a lot of fun.
Ian's dad is just like, look at me, I am the captain now.
Yeah. There we go. But it was so, you know what I mean? Like it's those questions, like it's crazy, dude. The best one, and then I'm gonna stop. But the best one I've ever got in my life, like it always happened in the weirdest place, by the way, during your groceries, and then somebody asked him to do something, and I'm sure it was the same for you, right? It's always in random spots. And that dude, super serious, asked me if I had problems breathing with my neck tattoo. And I was like, I was like, is he kidding? And he was serious. So of course I took the opportunity. I was like, yeah, sometimes I just straight up stop breathing, and the ink got in, and it's messed up. He's like, oh, you still did it knowing that? Yeah, I really wanted it.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Now I live with that, And he's like, I knew it. So it's entertaining, right? I'm sure you had your fair share of stories, right?
Oh my God. So it's funny that you brought up the, like, does that mess with your breathing thing? So I used to work, I've worked mostly in street shops, but I used to work on this really busy street in Frankfurt called St. Clair. And it's like a brick alley. And like, unfortunately, there's just like a lot of homeless in America right now. And it's mostly like mentally ill people, or like people that like are strung out on drugs and stuff like that. So I got this guy that was like clearly a meth head. You know what I mean? Like he walks up to me and he's like, hey man, let me ask you a question. He's like, you're a tattoo artist, right? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm a piercer. He's like, ooh, that's even better. He's like, so I had a surgery on my neck and it messed my neck up. And like when I hold my neck down, he's like, I sound completely different. And I'm like, what? And he literally held his neck down. He was like, yeah, like this is what I sound like. There's something like getting in the way. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, do you think that you could put a piercing there that would keep my neck stretched? I'm like, dude, no. Like, what? Go to a fucking doctor, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like,
He basically told you fix me.
yeah, like with the American American healthcare system, they're like, yeah, dude, that'll be like fucking 10 grand. Like,
I cannot guarantee anything.
Little weekend trip to Canada would do him some good for sure.
dude, absolutely. He would fucking, like, if I did that on him, man, 2 weeks tops before that thing tore a hole in his neck.
I mean, just asking that, I mean, come on, like.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that used to piss in the elevator that I'd use to like get to where my car was at in the parking garage too. So he was fucking out there, needless to say the least.
It wouldn't be surprising, I think. What I can tell you though is it does make your life more like entertaining. That's for not in good ways for the most part. But you know, like when I did it, I was super young, so people would come at me and just be like, "What are your parents thinking?" And I was like, "Do you know my parents?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, that's." Like, you know what I mean? Like it creates those kinds of weird, but I'm glad, I think we're past that. I could be wrong, but I mean, for the most part, now it's just people are just like, oh, must be a tattoo artist, barber, piercer.
Yeah, exactly.
Music. Like, people are just past that. I mean, comedians are full of tattoos now. Come on. Like, it's just...
in Kentucky, like it's a little weird still, but like that's just like the South, like it's Bible Belt area. You know what I mean? So it's like religiously influenced on like how people look. Exactly. But
10,
like
15 years late, you know, they're just getting Gangnam Style right now, you know.
Where I'm at right now, like I'm like 10 minutes away from like Asheville, North Carolina. Like that place though, it's so cool because everybody looks like me. You know what I mean? Like everybody's tattooed. There's 150 tattoo shops in that city alone.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of, you know, people with like body modifications, tattoos, stuff like that. That's pretty common out here. So it feels pretty nice to, you know, not get stereotyped and like, you know, have the typical old lady that looks at me like I'm gonna rob her while she's running away with her wheelchair or like scooter or whatever she's on. So yeah, I mean, it's cool that like we're moving in the right direction, but I feel like still some areas are gonna, you know, more rural areas are gonna be like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Well, I think I'm saying that to the right person, but I think something that's pretty much never going to be considered normal is probably the face tats, right? Like, and I think that's because now people are used to even like your hands or, but face
the face is
people are just like, why? You know what I mean?
It's
and
the new extreme for sure.
But I do understand, like, and I'm sure you do as well. Like, I understand that for someone who might not be interested in tattoos in the first place, and then they see in your face, they're just like, I don't understand.
Definitely caught off guard. Yeah.
And my answer is there's nothing to understand. It's just customization. I just wanted that. Like there's not a logical explanation like written in a book. Like, oh, that's why. Like it's just we want to do it.
Yeah, like I'm not a criminal. I'm an art collector, you know what I mean? And it just so happens that the art that I collect, I like to put on my body and because I think it looks fucking awesome. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Some people get it, some people don't. I feel like, you know, especially SoundCloud era, like face tattoos are looked at as like, oh, like you're a rapper, oh, you like have a drug problem. Like I always tell people, you can tell a lot by a person's personality based off of the art they have. Like if I see somebody and they're covered in like amazing, awesome tattoos, like I'm like, damn, they're fucking rich. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, like they're really passionate about what they're putting on their body.
For what it's worth.
But if I see really shitty work, I'm like, this guy smokes crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yes.
It's polarizing. It's really polarizing.
And I'm sure you agree with me because you see a lot of stuff in tattoo shops, but like face tattoos are tricky. It goes really quick into the trash direction.
Oh yeah, dude.
It goes from, oh, that's pretty cool, to like, oh shit, you have a tough life. Like it's like the line
It's borderline.
is like, what did you go through? And just like, oh, you're an artist is just like, it's kind of thin. So
Yes. I have like young people come into the shop and they'll talk about like tattoos they want to get. Like that's very common. I'm sure you get that too. Like they'll be like, oh, your tattoos are sick. I always wanted to get like this and this and this and this and this. But like I've seen a lot of young people be like, yeah, I want to get like a small like tattoo right here, or like, you know, like the like up here, like on their face somewhere. And I always tell them like, don't do it, you know. And they're like, well, that's a little hypocritical. You have tattoos. And I'm like, yeah, but like I work in a field where like that makes sense. You know what I mean? Especially like if you're young, if you don't have your career figured out yet, like just don't do it. Like Logan, for instance, our guitar player, you know, he came to the shop that I work at to get some of his face tattoos. And I was like, are you sure you want to do that? And he was like, yeah, man. And like, of course, like we had an artist there that did it and he's gotten a couple now, but like at the same time, like Logan is an incredibly talented guitar player. Like music is going to take him somewhere, you know what I mean? So like, he's kind of got that figured out. But like just your regular, like McDonald's employee or like the kid that, you know, just doesn't really know what they want to do yet. They haven't really figured out like their passions. Like, don't tattoo your face. Don't do it. Because the minute you do, the world is going to treat you completely different, dude.
Oh, that's 1,000% sure.
Yeah.
I went from like, oh, he's a good, like I would smile and old doors and stuff. And I went from that to holding the door with a smile and they would take another door. Like, so it's another, you know, it's another world. And again, I feel so bad. I have so many stories, but it's so perfect for that moment. It's going to take 1 second. I was working in a skate shop and that dude came in. I cannot make that up. Came in, ask me, hey, you have face tattoos and you're working? I'm like, I'm here. So yeah, I'm working. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know, like I wanted face tattoos. I don't know if you can. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it depends on where you work. I mean, it's a skate shop and stuff like that. I'm not shitting. I'm not inventing that. I swear. Couple of days later, came in the shop. New tattoo right like here. Yep. I'm not making that up. Yeah. With his CV, talked to my manager and said, I'm not making that up, said, I heard that it doesn't matter here and you're hiring people with tattoos. So there you go. His tattoo's not even healed yet. And it's like right here. And my manager looks at me, meaning like, what did you tell that person? And then and I'm just like, oh, come on. And she's like,
and the hiring manager said that I can get a job here.
Yeah, and like I swear, there's this major pause, like a huge silence, and she looks at him, looks at me, looks at him, and she's like, I didn't hire him because he had tattoos. I hired him and he has tattoos, but it's not because he has tattoos. And he's like, yeah. So to me, and I felt so bad because like when he asked me questions, I said everything you said. I'm like, I have tattoos, but like, think about it, dude. Like it's life changing. Like I love mine. I don't regret it. And I was super, I thought I was clear with what I said. And then when he came in, I looked like the guy who's just like, yeah, do it. We're going to hire you. No problem. Like, I mean, come in, like get your tattoos. And then you're here, man. Like it sounded like I said that. So that's my favorite story with that. And if I'm correct, that person ended up like, you know, removing all his face tattoos and stuff like that. So really think, and I'm not kidding, I think that's really what happened. So if you're okay with it, I knew I would do something fucked up. I mean, like special in life. Like I knew that. I wasn't scared. But for someone, like it's a big decision. You have a lot of place on your body before that. Yeah. There are a lot of cool places, like your hands. I think, Dom, you have like your hands too. Like there's a lot of places that it looks fucking cool. You don't need to start with, you don't need to be like me and just be like my face. Like you can, there's a lot of different places.
We call it the Vans Warped Tour bodysuit. And the Vans Warped Tour bodysuit is where you're tattooed everywhere that your shirt doesn't cover before you actually get your torso tattooed. No, I feel that, dude. I had the Vans Warped Tour bodysuit for a grip, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like, you know, I grew up watching people like Mitch Lucker and Ricky Hoover and like pretty much just anybody in metal or like metalcore, deathcore music in general. And they had all these tattoos and I was like, dude, they're fucking awesome. I want to be them so bad. You know what I mean? So of course I went for like the super visible spots first. But you know, like there are some shops out there like that stick to the traditional, like, yo, I'm not going to tattoo your hands or your neck until you have full like sleeves, chest piece, back piece. Like there's a lot of shops that truly stick by that to this day. Do I believe that should be how it is? Not necessarily. I feel like it's super situational, but you know, obviously if you have some, you know, dumb kid being like, yeah, dude, I want to get fucking little butt fuck or whatever tattooed on my forehead because I'm a rapper, don't do that. Or like, you know, I just turned 18. My girlfriend's awesome. Blast that shit on my neck, dog.
No,
like,
never,
yeah, like,
never.
Go away.
Like, tell me one time it was a good idea. Your kids, I get it. Kids, I completely get it. Like, it changes your life. It's your kid. It's always going to be your kid. For someone, please, for the love of God. And it's coming from like someone who's like, I'm still, for God's sake, I'm half like emo and stuff like that. Like, I do understand why. Like, you're in love and stuff. For the love of God, at least do something. She loves like rabbits. Like, do a little rabbit. Like, do something that represents, at worst, like, do something that represents a person. Don't. Yeah. It's never cool. Like, and then you meet someone else, like, oh, what's that? Oh, just like, don't do that. Like, just like, for the love of
man.
God.
Like, nobody wants to, you know, I feel like if you're locked in with a person and like you're married and you've been married for a long time and you have kids, like, I mean, of course, like that makes sense. Or like, even like, if you just know, like, this is 100% like gonna work out, then like, by all means, like, test the curse. I call it the curse. It's the curse. I feel like 90% of the people that I've met that in the shop that like got like a significant other's name tattooed, they came back like a couple months later and was like, hey, I need to cover up. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I think there's maybe it speaks to the kind of person that is willing to get that sort of tattoo in the first place, right? Call it love bombing, call it someone who's just too quick with their business when it comes to their relationships, right? Like there's like it's a special type of person that even thinks about going for that sort of thing, I think. So it's kind of like that's that's the kind of person you attract with that.
I think you
so I mean like it does work out with some people, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the girl that I'm with right now, like, I love her so much and we always crack jokes and we're like, yeah, we're getting our fucking names tattooed on our face or some shit like that. And like, that'll probably happen eventually.
I'll say though, like, someone like you who's covered in tattoos, it's a bit of a different story too.
It's not
right?
the same.
As opposed to like someone who's like kind of like their first tattoo or
getting
one of their only tattoos. You're like, come on, man. Because that's usually more so the case. Like no one cares about a fully tattooed person having a name somewhere on their body, you know, as an extra, right? But the
and
less,
like what's a lot cooler than that too is like, you know, if you have like a friend or something like that, like or like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever partner you have, and you want to get like a tattoo dedicated to them, get something fucking cool, man. Don't just go straight for the name or straight for initials. Like, think of like an inside joke you guys have and get that shit tattooed. That's way cooler. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
I think I have
worst
like
case,
four.
it's a chapter.
Exactly.
I have
you know, you
four
can look back
matching
on
tattoos with my wife. You know, it's not her name. But we've got tattoos that are
it's cooler,
and they're like not matching. They're like the same concept. We got them done at the same time, but they're each their own thing. But like they're just cool, like fun tattoos. You know, it doesn't have to be.
But that's awesome. That's cool. That's cooler. Like
I have the best matching tattoo story of all time, and I know Corey, I'm about to tell the story, dude. I know he's in this. Zach has it too. So my buddy Corey,
he says he's tweaking right now.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. This was the funniest shit I think I've ever done, and it just happened like it wasn't planned. But like, obviously, I work in a tattoo shop. My friends are gonna come and hang out. Like, that's just how it is. So my buddy Corey, like, he was just like, buddy's an understatement. That's my brother. You know what I mean? Like, I love Corey to death. So like, essentially, like, he was talking to one of the artists that I worked with, and he was like wanting to get like this cool dagger tattooed, right? And I forget what he was doing. I think he maybe was going out on a date or something like that. And like, he was bouncing back and forth between like designs that he wanted to get, but he like finally landed on the design that he wanted to get, but he just didn't have the time before his date to get the tattoo. So like, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna like go shower, go on this date, and when I come back, we can run it. It's like just a small little like dagger tattoo. And dude, so I looked at the artist and I was like, how fucking funny would it be if I got the tattoo before him? And she was like, dude, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. So another artist piped up and was like, that's fucking awesome. I got you. So sure enough, I don't know, like,
if you put it more towards, I see it there.
Yeah, this little fucking dagger right here, man. So what happened is he left. I got the tattoo and we recorded the entire process. I don't think I ever posted it. I think I put it on like my story or some shit like that. And I was wearing long sleeves that day. So like, we put some Tegaderm on it. I rolled my sleeves down, and like, he came and he was getting the tattoo, and the whole time he was getting his tattoo, I was like, yo, you're getting your tattoo? What do you think, man? He was like, I ain't shit. You know, he's being a tough guy. Like, and honestly, in reality, it didn't hurt at all. Like, it's just a tiny little fine line, like dagger. So I I let him get the entire tattoo, and like, you know, he's chilling afterwards, like maybe 10-15 minutes later. Keep in mind, like, everybody there knows what happened, and we're all just like being super quiet about it. And I looked at him and was like, so what'd you think, man? That tattoo hurt? He was like, no, it wasn't bad. I mean, like, because it was his first hand tattoo. I think he got it like right above his thumb. And he was like, it wasn't bad, man. Like, it was pretty easy, you know what I mean? And I was like, cool. It didn't hurt me either, man. And I pulled my arm down or my sleeve down. And he's like, no way, dude. And he thought I was bullshitting. Like, he thought it was just a stencil. And he walks up and he like rubs it. Tegaderm's on it, so he's not like touching my open wound or anything like that. And he rubs it and he's like, is that fucking real? And I was like, yeah, dude, I got your fucking tattoo before you. And he like lost his shit. I think for like maybe like a good solid like 20 minutes, he was like actually pissed. And then it just clicked, like, oh, me and my homie, we have a matching tattoo. And like Zach, he was my piercing apprentice at the time. So like, I think Zach got it like the next day. So now we all have like this little dagger right here. And it was just funny because like he wanted it. So like, I don't know if like how, well, obviously, yeah, and you're familiar with tattoo culture, but like, you know how like sometimes people get tattoos and they're like upside down, they're like facing their point of view, and they're like, it's for me. Well, he was going to do that with his tattoo. And I was like, dude, don't do that. Like, you're getting it upside down. It's going to look silly. So like, of course I got it fucking upside down. Just just be like, I got it the way you wanted it.
The full commit, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was the funniest shit ever. If I can scroll through my camera roll, I'll like mesh the video, because it was like, I think I was recording on Snapchat. I recorded it in pieces.
Yeah.
I'll find it and I'll post it to my Instagram, and you guys can check that out. And but yeah, it was just the funniest shit ever, man. But like, you know, if you're gonna get something with a friend or like a girlfriend, do something cool, like get something fun, make it a fun memory. Because like, you know, me and Corey, we're never gonna fall out. Like, we're locked in, you know what I'm saying? But like, even if something did happen to where like for some reason we weren't friends, or like one of us passed away, something like that, like there's a memory there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's what it comes down to. Like a memory, like the symbol of it is awesome because it reminds you like of a specific chapter, something you loved together, something. So it's more, instead of like obviously the name reminds you of someone, like that's for sure. But I mean, like it's cool to like have this moment because you decide. It's also the part that anyone could do a name, right? But like deciding a moment together and doing something like that, there's like also more meaning into it. Like she could
exactly
meet someone else else down the line, and he could
maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe tattoos just
Maybe
don't gotta have meaning, you know?
They don't.
But I mean,
like,
I just got a random name, dude. It's all
dude,
good.
Miami Ink fucking wreaked havoc on the tattoo industry over that shit, bro. Like, you know, because Miami Ink, the show, like, are you guys familiar with that show?
Not Miami Ink. I haven't watched.
No, I don't think not that one.
Okay, so it was like on
the judges and stuff, but
so that's like Ink Master, Miami Ink. It was on, I believe it was on TLC. It was just one of those like reality shows, like, oh, this is like the world of tattooing, and like their big thing was like every single person that walked through the door, they had like this huge, long, drawn out, like deep meaning behind their tattoo. And they're like, yeah, man, we're going to bring your tattoo to life. And we're going to, and of course it was a phenomenal artist. I can't even remember his name, dude, but he was like banging out stupid, crazy, awesome tattoos. And like, so everybody that watched that show, which kind of was like really the inception of like normalizing the tattoo industry and like tattoos to the public, you know, thought like, oh, every tattoo has to have a meaning. So that's when you get people that'll like look at like a silly nonsense tattoo or like just a cool design and be like, oh, like, what does that mean to you? And I'm like, I think it fucking looks cool, man. Like, you know, it looks cool as shit. Like I have this like biomechanical shit on my arm, like from so long ago, probably like 15 years ago. And people would ask me like, oh, well, like, what's the significance of that? I'm like, I thought it looked cool.
The symbiotic relationship between mankind and robots. And
yeah, I've definitely made some shit up and been like, oh, it's for my dad. You know what I mean? Like something like that. But
it's easier to make something up. Sometimes it's just easier to be like, oh, it's for someone. Like it's easier to just be like, because you know what's coming next. If you did that and you don't, and you're just like, and it's not because you're ashamed or anything. It's just the whole, I'm just like, oh, I'm not just dealing with that. My dad was a pirate. Mm-hmm. My dad is a pirate.
My dad was a pirate. I'm telling you right now, Yan, the next person that asked me that question, I'm ripping that story from you. And I'm like, yeah, dude, my dad was actually a pirate. They were like, dude, I asked you about like the fucking blackout sleeve. I'm like, yeah, dude, he was a Somali pirate. Shit was fucking flag. Crazy, bro. That's black flag. He was black. My dad was Blackbeard. Like my dad was Blackbeard.
That's it. That's what happened. No, but it's you know, like it's funny because to me the best way to explain it always found, and I know it might not be the best comparison, but it's just customization. Like people who love tattoos love to customize, and then it's our body. So obviously I'm going to be able to come, like I love, if you ask me what kind of cars I love, I'm into GDM culture. So I love when you can tune something and make it your own. So like it's my body. And then you're showing me at 9-year-old somebody like Travis Barker. Obviously I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Like it wasn't like for sure.
Travis Barker, man, like that was I feel like that's the first person I saw that had like a full bodysuit. Like when I was a kid, I still love Blink-182. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that shit, I grew up on that shit, and seeing Travis Barker, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was like, that looks cool as shit, dude. Like, I didn't even know you could get tattooed like that until I saw that, man. So, you know, and then obviously you go into like getting older, my, you know, tastes change, and they're looking at like heavier bands and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just like, Mitch Lucker, perfect example. Like his bodysuit was fucking so sick, dude. Yeah, like it was so sick.
Ricky too was awesome. Like, I shamelessly say all the time that it was fully just me being inspired by Mitch, Ricky. Like when people are like, oh, was Travis at 9 years old? Then we skip many years, and it's like Mitch, Ricky Hoover, even in metalcore like Dylan Richer and like For Fallen Dreams, like all these people like full of tattoos, like awesome. I was like, that's like there's no other way. Like my everyone was just like, I'm looking like no matter what, that's what's gonna happen, you know.
I gotta look the part if I want to do this, right? You know what I mean?
Dude, and the neck, I want to ask you that too. Like I feel like in the quote unquote suit, because I think I still have like the Vents whatever tour thing, but like the neck is the coolest, like the biggest difference.
Oh yeah, dude, that shit's like, hard.
It's like when you do your neck, like it changes everything, like to me.
Oh
like,
yeah, man.
Face tattoos, it's cool, but like the neck is just like it changes your entire. You're sure, like.
that's where you go from looking tattooed to looking heavily tattooed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like Logan, our guitar player, for instance, like this kid has gotten so many tattoos this year and he looks so fucking badass. But like, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to like fill it up, make it look like whole. And like he definitely looked like he had tattoos, but recently he got like some brass knuckles and like these sick fucking roses tattooed on his neck, dude. And it was just like that minute, it's like, oh shit, like you look like way more tattooed now. So yeah, like absolutely. Like this piece right here, dude, like I actually started off, this is like a moth, like you can't really see it, but it's like a moth with a graveyard. And then right after I got this, that's when I got my chest tattooed and like kind of tried to like bring it all together. So like, you know, sometimes just people piece it together different. Like this entire sleeve, like, you know, it's all pieces that like the artist that I chose like meticulously like was like, all right, I'm gonna leave this spot open and then we're gonna like expand upon that. And like that's where the artistry really comes into play. And it's like cool to see it happen.
Yeah, and it's my favorite. And by the way, I do apologize for asking. It's so interesting to me, and you're awesome. And I love asking all these things. Like I know we're it's kind of like I love talking about music, but all that world, like we don't have many occasions to talk with someone who was like in it, so I really wanted to ask if it hurts. No, I'm kidding, but honestly, it's
dude, I hate getting tattooed. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things in the world, I'm not kidding, like I'm a small, like it's fairly sure I work out, but I've always been like a small build, right? And all my life since I've got tattooed, I cannot tell you the amount of people that came up to me and they have more tattoos than me, right? So I don't, and they would be like, I have way more tattoos than you. I had that. And they wouldn't know the exact amount of hours. I don't even know how many hours I've got. I never counted like how many hours. And you would be like, I have 104 hours of tattoos on my body. You just don't see it. And I would be like, that's cool. That's
never trust
great.
people like that.
Yeah. And
never.
No. Just like,
never. If somebody can tell me, dude, if somebody can tell me how many tattoos they have or like how many hours they've sunk into their body, it's immediate red flag. People are be like, how many tattoos do you have, Coda? I'm like, a lot. Like, I don't know. Like just a lot.
You're doing it for the wrong reasons if you're counting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know what he was trying to do, right? Like, he's like, I'm tougher. I was just like, I don't care. You're tougher. Cool, man. Like, I don't. Yeah. Who cares? Like, but there are these people who are like, I'm doing my best. And it always was funny to me. If you do that, do it for yourself. Not because it's like, I did my entire back and I was sleeping. Okay, that's cool.
I was like, okay, so you're a clout chaser. Cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you're telling me it's the equivalent of just being like, I've spent that many hours at the gym. Cool.
You see these hands? My hands look like this, so that way hers can look like that. Like, it's like, dude, come on. Your soft, sissy, liberal hands.
It's like, I'm so tough. I'm so tougher than you. Cool, man.
It's like, hell yeah, dude. I bet you eat nails for breakfast, too.
Yeah, I'm just like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's just funny. I think you're always gonna have a lot of stories. I can for sure. Like we didn't even get into like the clients you get and different like people walking in for the and like it's crazy, very entertaining. As someone who spent a lot of times in like tattoo shops and stuff like that, like in terms of clientele, you want to be entertained. You want to hear questions that nobody in their life would never even think of asking. It's a great place dude. For that. It's a great place for that.
People ask me like, you know, what's the craziest piercing you've ever done? And I'm like, dude, think about it. Like, it's not that hard of an answer. You know what I mean? Like genitals. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be like, well, dude, this one time I pierced this kid's ears and it was fucking crazy. Like, genital piercings are the craziest piercings I'm always going to do. You know what I mean? Like, other than that, like, it doesn't get crazier than that, other than like, if you're just kind of fucking somebody up. Like, really, like, that's about, you know, it, like, play piercings, that's not really fucking anybody up, but I think that shit's awesome. And that's where you see, like, these cool, intricate designs, like, built with, like, needles. So it's, like, hundreds of piercings, and usually they'll, like, put that in there, and they'll take a couple pictures and then they just start taking them out and bandaging them. It's kind of like suspension where like you see people like on hooks
Yeah.
being like, pulled into the air. Like now that shit's crazy. I haven't got the opportunity to do something like that. I would love to, but I gotta learn it first. So, that's not something you just like dive into.
It's an entire universe by itself too, like that
Mm-hmm.
entire like because there's tattoos and piercings and different things, and then you have like the world of body mods, and we're talking like implants and like all
yeah,
these
dude.
different things, and the art of like suspensions. It's an entire
Yeah, I love that shit.
universe and world, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's like there's
absolutely.
a lot of passion
Like
in it, and
I've met a few body modification artists, and I'm like, how did you get into this? Like, is it like a typical apprenticeship? And there was this one guy that I spoke to specifically. His name is Ian Bell. I think he's in Texas now, but I met him at a convention, and I think it was like 2019. It was the Louisville Villain Arts Convention. And they, of course, they were doing suspension and stuff like that. And Ian, he's a piercer, but he does like, he does tongue bifurcation, he does like L-Fear mods, some dermal implants, stuff like that. And I was like, how'd you get into that? And like, he was like, dude, I went to med school. He's like, I actually went to medical school. I was going to become a surgeon. And he's like, doing it for so long, I realized I was doing that for my parents and not me. So like, that's when I discovered the world of body modification and like dove into that. And I was like, cool, I missed my window. Fuck. Like,
Yeah, I mean, look, technically speaking, never too late, but yeah.
I mean,
true. Have you seen anybody do sutures? Dude, sutures are insane. Like, I'm used to like forceps and stuff whenever I have to like remove piercings or like even insert some piercings. But like, dude, these people, like, they like surgeons, stuff like that, when they're doing sutures, like those forceps become like, secondary appendages to them. And like, you have to like tie the knots with like, they look like scissors. And like, imagine trying to tie a knot with a pair of scissors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's insanely difficult. Like, that would take me years and years to master. And me personally, dude, I'm cool with what I'm doing. Like, if somebody wants to teach me how to, suspend somebody from the air with some hooks, like I'm down for that. But as far as like splitting tongues and like, putting these big like Teflon like pieces under somebody's skin, like
shit, yeah.
Yeah, especially nowadays, dude, like all that shit's starting to become illegal. I know in like the UK there was this guy named Dr. Evil, and he was a body modification artist, and he had done some tongue splits, and I guess the government was just doing like a crackdown, and in the UK, the government can press charges for you. As I don't know what the laws are in Canada, but like in America, like if I got in a fight with somebody or if somebody punched me in the face and the cop was like, do you want to press charges? And I said, no, like that person gets to walk away. Well, the government can be like, actually, no, you're not getting away with this. So that guy went to prison for like tongue splits that he had done like 12 years prior. And, it is illegal here in America to do that. So it's very like hush hush and on low. So like, I'm kind of good off. Like, if we ever got to that point, like I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a known cutoff there for in terms of new things to learn. Just a quick second to talk about the sponsor of today's episode, Indie Merch Store. It is that time of the year again. The Metal Blade Records holiday sale is officially underway. From now until December 31st, you can find massive discounts on vinyl, box sets, CDs, Blu-ray, merch, and so much more, up to 80% off at the US Metal Blade Records shop over at indiemerchstore.com, featuring goodies from Amon Amarth, Behemoth, Cannibal Corpse, Killswitch Engage, and more. Stock up and give those collections/closets the love they deserve. Angel Maker are releasing their brand new album, This Used to Be Heaven, on November 20th. So if you wanted to get in on pre-order items, the time is now. The band has CDs and vinyl, as well as album-themed wall flags, t-shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies, all available over at indiemerchstore.com. gmail.com. You can also catch them on tour right now all across the US with Whitechapel, Body Snatcher, and Disembodied Tyrant. As always, you can use code BRUTALITY at checkout to save 10% off of your entire order. Again, that's code BRUTALITY at checkout to save 10% off. A massive shout out to Indie Merch Store for sponsoring this episode. Now, back to the show. Just switching gears real quick. Have you, since you moved to Asheville, did you cross Noah? Jobs Are Fake?
Dude, actually, yes. That guy's fucking awesome, dude.
Yes,
I hit him up and I was like, bro, I really want to like do something with you. And we had talked a little bit. I know that both of us are pretty busy. But yeah, man, like, no, if you're tuned in or if you're seeing this on YouTube, like, hit me up, dog. Like, let's go out there and like jam. I would love to scream at people in public. That'd be fun as fuck.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because he plays the craziest shit. He'll be fucking jamming out some Despised Icon through the fucking
dude. Or he's like
the middle of downtown,
hitting fucking slams in the middle of downtown Asheville,
doing
man.
It well too, like very well. Like I've seen a couple of videos. I was like, dude, I would stop. I was like, most of the time I look at people, I'm like, what is wrong with you, dude? I would stop there and I would, you know what I mean? Like I would jam. It's awesome.
Yeah, that shit's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, man. All right, let's look. Not that I don't love talking about piercings and tattoos, but I know a lot.
We've been talking about it for a minute.
About music, man. We got to talk about some of this music thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so let's kind of dive in. You guys, well, first we can kind of talk about the new single because that's like super fresh, super recent. You guys just put out a new single.
Cameras didn't exist.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Talk to me about the single and I guess everything that goes around that. Obviously, you guys went and recorded an EP around it. You guys went to see Noah. I'm curious about all the whole process, everything.
Dude, first and foremost, like I just want to say Noah is probably one of the most talented people I've ever met. Noah, Rev3rent, I mean, Josh, like, dude, that band is gonna go far as fuck. Like, I told Josh, I was like, dude, you're like the next Mitch Lucker, man. I know that like TikTok likes to dick on him sometimes or whatever, but like that's usually a sign of like you're doing something. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have a little bit of haters, you aren't doing shit. And like those guys are, especially with like their age, they're all so young and they're just kicking ass, man. Like Noah actually helped us with the writing process for the intro to the EP. The EP, I don't know if anybody knows, but it's called It's About Murder. And like I remember me and Logan, we were actually sitting in Noah's studio. Like we were all sleeping on the floor there in, I think it was just California. I don't want to say like where exactly. I don't know if people know, but anyways, we were sleeping on the floor, staying there and we were writing and like me and Logan, sometimes even Zach, like, we're kind of like where the lyrics come from. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, Logan will be like, dude, I thought of this really cool like pattern or like cadence. And like, it's funny how we record, like I'll have him sit in front of the like mic and like, I'll hit play and he'll just record like a cadence or like just a pattern. And I put the words to it. And I was asking him, I was like, what do you think the EP should be about? And he was like, I don't know, man. Like, we're called Execution. Like, why don't we just talk about like killing people? And I was like, why don't we just call it It's About Murder? And he was like, dude, that's awesome. I was like, yeah. So if anybody asks us what's it about, we can just be like, it's about murder. You know what I mean? So yeah. So specifically for the intro of this EP, that song is, you know, it's the self-titled song. It's about murder. Noah helped us write that. Like we showed up and we had some songs that we had in mind. I think we had one that like we were kind of like back and forth on. And we were like, why don't we just make like an intro track? And Noah sat down and like helped us write it. And it was fun as fuck. But like that guy's a riff machine. He's fucking awesome, dude.
And the production too. I mean, like that's we were talking, I think off stream or before that.
Yeah,
like, it's the sweet spot, man. Like sounds old school.
That guy gets it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely gets it, man. Like I feel like that scene is like super tapped in on like the deathcore revival and like where it's headed. Because like out where we're from, like specifically Kentucky is a hardcore state. You know what I mean? Like you've got I, I don't know how people feel about it. I fucking can't stand D-beat hardcore, like the tukat, 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 tukat. I'm like, dude, all y'all sound exactly the same. There's only a few bands that like kind of stick out from that. Shout out These Eyes. I fuck with These Eyes. They're really cool. Um, but yeah, so like out there, I feel like the deathcore versus hardcore shit is still kind of alive and well. And like it's fun because, in one aspect, it's like, really, like we're still doing this. But at the second hand, like that pushed us a lot harder to be like, okay, well, if we want to play shows out here and like, bring something different to our scene, like we've got to really like sit down and grind and hustle and make shit happen. Um, so yeah, like I feel like I ranted and kind of lost track. What was the question again?
No, that's really good. He was actually
just
talking about
Noah
the
and his
EP
production and stuff. To kind of follow that up, actually, like I'd be curious how you see it because you're around our age, and like we had this conversation a lot about like we went through MySpace. We lived with the MySpace Deathcore. We were about those bands and shit. Yeah, our backs all hurt. But then you see, you were mentioning like Reverent are super fucking young, and you look at a guy like Noah who's doing production that like to me is like really hitting, like Yan said, like the sweet spot of like something that's raw, God, but dude, it's but how do you see it as like someone who's seeing like these young kids being so tapped into what they didn't even like grow up with, but we did, man,
it makes me so fucking happy, dude. Like the whole deathcore revival, I think is like the best thing that's ever happened to the genre. You know what I mean? Because like, obviously we grew up with like Whitechapel, Suicide Silence, Carnifex, like Die Art, bands like that. And like, I feel like deathcore, kind of like modern metalcore in a way, moved into this very like electronic, overproduced, like competitive world. And I even fell off from like some of the newer bands that are coming out. Like there was a couple that stuck out to me, like Signs of the Swarm, Brand of Sacrifice, bands like that. Obviously Chelsea Grin, they are OGs, but like Tom Barber era, it's a lot different, but it's really good. But like just like with metalcore, like you've got so many bands that are just like moving into a direction that I just wasn't really fucking with. Like, obviously the success of the genre is really cool, like Lorna Shore, shit like that. But like, that's not my deathcore. You know what I mean? Like, I want brutality, dude. Like, I don't want like your Digitech whammy fucking riffs all the time. Like that shit gets so old. I feel like everybody's using the same tone package. Everybody's using the same VSTs vocally. It just got so boring. And like, especially after the To the Hellfire dropped from Lorna with, Will, like, obviously hot take, whatever. I don't think Will is like the pioneer of the like tunnel vocal shit. Like Dickie Allen was doing that shit in Infinite Annihilator. The way that deathcore there for like a good 10 years, it felt like it was just moving in this direction of being something that everybody wanted to, it was clip farm core. Like that's what I was calling it for a long time. They wanted to drop the craziest fucking breakdown that like you'll ever fucking hear, so that way it blows up on TikTok and it can, boost revenue, get you on really cool festival and tour packages. And like, don't get me wrong, that's great. Like if a band's like getting successful off of the music they're making, that's fucking awesome. But I feel like at a certain point, you have to ask yourself like, how authentic is this? Am I doing this because I want to, push what I want to make? Or am I doing this because I want a corporate record label to look at me and be like, that's, we can sell that. So yeah, I just, getting back to the whole point of it, I feel like the deathcore revival really brought back that brutality and really brought back that like raw emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know about you guys or like anybody else watching, but deathcore was a way for me to like cope with like I was a very angry teenager. I come from kind of like a really dysfunctional family, and like that was a way for me to like process rage and emotion and be like, okay, like I'm not the only one that feels this, you know what I mean? And I mean not even like lyrically most of the time, but like deathcore is a feeling, man. Like deathcore is just like that like crushing groove or like that nasty breakdown. It's not like who has the craziest vocals or like, you know, who can do the longest fucking tunnel growl. Like, yeah, I think tunnel screams are like, you know, this is when I said hot take. I feel like tunnel screams are corny as fuck, like mad corny. I feel like they're super abused. It's kind of like, you know, when every metalcore band in the world was just right before a breakdown, they were just hitting that like, bleh, you know what I mean? Like hitting the
That I
bleh.
cannot. That I cannot. Like honestly, no. It's sorry. I don't
That's
want to cut
Ian's
you off.
number
But,
one
like,
pet peeve. Yeah.
I keep
Yeah.
saying it. Like I
There,
understand.
it was
For a
abused,
while,
man.
there are trends. I understand. It's coming from somebody who loves, like, I still listen to a lot of crabcore bands and shit because I grew up
Yeah.
with that. I'm okay with that. I understand that there are gimmicks, but the freaking breakdown, first of all, I'm just gonna say it, it's not a breakdown sound. That freaking like it's not a sound of it's not a breakdown. It's like just like a tune. I don't know what that is. And then just throwing the bleh, like I cannot. If you put that in your song, I'm out. Like it's horrible. But I think it's also what you said. You just made me understand why I always wondered why I couldn't fuck with the vocal Olympics, but yet it wouldn't slam. And so I love those weird vocals like Waking a Cadaver, all that stuff. I love
Oh yeah,
that.
dude.
It's because
Shout out
just
Dawn, bro. Fucking the goat.
Yes. Dawn, Waking a Cadaver and stuff. Like I like, you know what I mean? Like you understood my question because it's the authenticity. Those slam bands,
Exactly.
you're doing that to get a freaking clip, and you're delusional if you
Yeah.
think you're gonna get a clip with slam music.
Yeah.
But like honestly,
No,
you
but
live,
nobody
like,
plays slam to make money. You know what I
you're
mean?
like completely delusional. If you think you're the next big thing, like there are exceptions like peeling flesh and stuff, but you're clearly delusional if you think you're doing porno grind and then like you're the next big thing. Like you're not you're in
Yeah.
the wrong place. And I would like to see that actually. It would be funny. But the point is it's because it's authentic. That's what they want to do. And those weird vocals, like a lot of weird bands like Dumb Nose, like I love like the really slam like weird vocals. I love that. And then I was like, I would be supposed to love like the Olympic or something, and I could never. And I think you just answered it. It's because of that. It's the authenticity,
Yeah.
and it's for. I can see the conversation of just like we need a
It's
moment like that.
performative.
Yes, like we need to add crazy vocals here, as opposed to that's what's coming out. You know, so
Yeah, like
I love your perspective.
obviously, you know, anybody doing anything, making music or in a creative field, like obviously, yes, it's going to be performative, but like authenticity versus like doing something to hope that maybe this is the thing that blows you up. Like what blows bands up, and I've noticed like what makes a band special is when they stay true to who they are and they make what they want to make because they like it. You know what I mean? Like if I occasionally listen to our songs, you know what I mean? Like I use Spotify DJ like every fucking day, and like it'll be like coming up next, execution, and it's like some people would think like, oh, that's corny, but like, you know, sometimes I like to listen to my music because like one, it's coming from a place that like I directly relate to because I wrote it, and it's like how I'm feeling in a moment. But like also like I'm proud of it and I like it. You know what I mean? Like I don't do something to hope that like it becomes a trend. Like, you know, I don't feel like this is a trendy genre, and like what makes deathcore great is authenticity. And like these copycat bands, I know metalcore, deathcore, like you can probably name on like your fucking 10 fingers immediately so many bands that started and was just like, whatever, we're not going to do this anymore. It's like, do it because you love to do it. Don't do it because
I'll
you
be the one
expect
to
it to
say
get
it.
you
We're
somewhere.
seeing a little bit of that in the Myspace Deathcore as well. I'll just put it out there.
Yeah, anything that's like popping off, like that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But like my best advice to anybody out there that's in a band that is on that like local level, or like, you know, they just want to elevate their sound, like come from the heart with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, try to make something that feels authentically you and feels good, because like if you're doing something to appease an audience and not yourself first, you're gonna fail, because like you can't possibly meet everybody's expectations. As long as you're meeting your own expectations, you're going to find a fan base that really fucks with your music, and they are going to like it, and they are going to support you, and that's where success comes from.
Well, to your point, and it was well said. I think we mentioned Reverent earlier, right? And we talked about mold as well. The point I want to make, and because Dom just said, like, yeah, in some cases, I think those who stand out, like when you say the name of a band and there's an image, right? Every time I say mold, the image that I have is when they drop at the end of the clip with like the long hair.
Yeah,
like I have an image from mold, like that's right here. Like I know the band, they have a vision, they have their aesthetic. It's great. The logo, everything. If I think about Reverent, I have like Josh, like as you said, like I think he's like the next, they really stand out. Those things, you cannot force that. Possibly. No. You can gimmick anything that you cannot. It's impossible.
Dude, like, you know, I think I saw a interview with Phil Bozeman like forever ago, where he was talking about like when he gets on stage, he becomes like a different person. And it was probably like, you know, somatic defilement era, where he was talking like you'd see like music videos and he's got like his eyes rolled in the back of his head and he's just like going insane. Like, he's like, you know, when I get on stage and I start doing shit, he's like, I don't even remember what's going on. I'm just moving with the music. And like, that's how it should be. You know what I mean? Like, the more you think about like what you're doing, the more you're going to make mistakes. Like, you just have to go in there and let whatever it is that is fueling you take control.
Worse. I think for better or for worse, you cannot be perfect. Sometimes you're gonna do something. There's gonna be a video of you, and it's like, what was that? And I mean, that was what happened at the moment. But I think what we're talking here is like the calculation of just like we're gonna be cool because of that never works. It's exactly I compare it to that. Think about when you're younger and you come back home and maybe you're high or somebody's just asked you like, be normal. You're gonna look anything but normal. If you're trying to be normal, you're gonna look weird as shit. For like you're forcing 1000% sure. Yes, every time. Just tell anybody, look normal, and look at what happens. We're gonna be like like you don't know what's happening. Like so I compare it to that. It might be stupid to compare it to, but like I compare it to like trying to be cool or trying to be, it won't work. Like you're trying to do some things. The bands that we love and the artists that we still talk about to this day are like, that's what they did. They didn't do it because like it was cool or anything. It was just what they wanted to do, and then it's inspiring.
Or just bands that stick around, period. What I was kind of getting at was more so the fact that we've already been seeing some of the revival bands change their styles, and after like a 3-song EP be like, oh, we don't like deathcore anymore, we're gonna become X. And I'm like, all right, you know,
they move on to the next trend,
like,
you know,
come on guys, you know. But
there's always gonna be that clear.
Yeah.
Like in any scenes, I think that's kind of what's happening.
It's not like it's the majority. I've just been kind of seeing it just, I guess, as the revival scene has been getting bigger, right? And it's getting more and more popular. You've been seeing a little bit more of, look, and I'll say this too. I mean, there's some Psycho Frame copycats out there too, right? Like there's starting to be these things that come with a genre starting to get a little bit bigger. Absolutely.
Well, I feel like,
but it just makes those bands less interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like when the revival scene happened, like everybody wanted to be Suicide Silence. You know what I mean? Like everybody wanted to be like that big four, like, you know, band. And it's like, the more you try to emulate, the more you're going to fail. Like, just make some new shit, you know, like just stick to your influences and focus on like what makes you happy, and you'll be successful.
It's funny with you guys though, because I heard like the first time I heard you, because you said like, oh, there's this deathcore versus hardcore thing. I got some hardcore vibes in there, like a lot of
Yeah.
it. Like my first thought when I think I told you, Dom, I was like, oh shit, because he told me, I think you, even Dom, you told me, dude, you love hardcore, because I love even like, I mean like Mad Balls and bands like that. I love a lot of hardcore music stuff. Like it was my favorite thing back then. So but when I heard you guys, I thought it was something that made you stand out. Not necessarily classic hardcore, but I got like hardcore vibes. Is that
Oh,
something?
yeah.
Is that accurate? Okay.
Yeah,
I was curious about that.
100%, man. Like, like I said, Kentucky's a hardcore state, dude. So like 90% of the local shows that you're gonna see happening are hardcore shows. You know what I mean? Like our drummer Zach, dude, like he's the one that like I've always listened to hardcore, but like he really put me on to like a lot of hardcore. Like our best friend Corey, like he is like hardcore incarnate. Like the pink shirt guy I was talking about, Oliver. I'm just gonna
Oh
say
my
his
God.
name. He's been mentioned in
Okay.
the chat a bunch. Like, there's this joke that Oliver's the future of hardcore. You know what I mean? Like, hardcore is deeply ingrained in us, but also, the genre is called deathcore. You know what I mean? So like, in our opinion, it should be like 50% death metal, 50% hardcore. You know what I mean? And then you've
That's my
got like
icon.
exactly. You've got bands like Float Face Down. You've got bands like Recon,
There we go.
shit like that. Like, the like really heavy into like even the Acacia strain, dude. Like they come from a hardcore background. They just also really fuck with death metal, and that's like how we got the genre. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's rooted in that, and like, if there's anybody that fucks with deathcore, like really dive into hardcore too, dude. You're not gonna be disappointed. Like one of my favorite fucking hardcore bands is E-Town Concrete, and they're like so far away from deathcore. You know what I mean? So like you'll start to hear the bands that you like and you'll be like, oh, okay, so like that's why there's a two-step riff there, or like a tom build, you know what I'm saying? Like shit
Vocal
like that is
patterns
like exactly
sometimes, stuff like
exactly
that, like gang vocals. But and I think you have a good point, because like let's be honest, the hardcore, I think for a lot of us was the appeal within deathcore. And sure, it changed a little bit, with
yeah,
bands like Suicide Silence and Job for a Cowboy. I would say there wasn't like a big hardcore component to it. It was mostly like the breakdowns, and then but for the
yeah,
most part, Spice Icon, all those bands, Acacia Strain, it's because for people like me, who's not like the biggest fan of death metal, to be quite honest, for me, it's like it's lacking something, which I find in deathcore, which was like the hardcore parts
exactly.
and all that stuff. And I think that was the entire appeal at first, like mixing those two things. So it's kind of special when you don't have any hardcore within deathcore. It's like, well, it's kind of half of it. So it's funny you say that, but I can confirm we can feel the hardcore vibes within your music, dude. So
Thanks,
mission
man.
accomplished.
Like
Well, to
like
me, it goes
it's
further than hardcore. It's the tough guy shit. That's what I love too,
beat down.
right? Because this one thing,
Yeah, I love beat down so
it's
much,
one thing
dude.
it's one thing to
Full
throw
face
like
down
two
and-
steps in deathcore and stuff like that. Okay, sure, I get that, but there's like, I don't know, the float face downs and the abacabs and the recons. It's like tough guy
Yeah,
shit, you know,
dude.
like
It's
you
a
feel
heavy
you
like
could fucking
gorilla
knock someone
smash your
out to it,
chest
like,
shit. Like
yes.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
That-
dude,
That's,
like-
that's what I
It's
feel
been
you guys
crazy
have been
for
going
those
for,
bands.
you know.
Yeah, dude. So,
I don't
like,
know, I just wanted to throw
fucking-
that in there too, right? It's not necessarily just the style.
yeah, dude. Like there's this band called No Witness. They're fucking awesome. Missing Link, like you look at deathcore and like where it comes from, and like how some of these bands are really influenced by like bands outside of the genre, and it's just really cool like seeing those kind of like come together and those worlds collide, because like I feel like we've played with a band called Two Piece. Like my first show with Execution was in Cincinnati, Ohio, or maybe Columbus. I think it was called Witch Lab. Shout out Oliver, you know what you did. But yeah, so we played with this band called Two Piece, and I don't know if you guys have listened to them. Check them out. They're fucking awesome.
Not
It's
yet.
literally it's a two piece. It's a guy with a guitar and a drummer, dude. And they go so fucking hard. Like they make me want to crowd kill everybody in the room. Like in that room, I have no friends. Everybody's not. You know what I mean?
I have no friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that shit.
I'm writing it because I'm gonna forget if I don't. So I'm writing 2-piece right now, so I can check it out.
Specifically, listen to the song Dominance. That shit goes crazy.
Dominance, 2-piece.
Yeah.
Dominance. Because if I don't, like, my brain, like, it's like it's gone. Like, if I don't,
there's been a few bands in that kind of wave, like a Chain Gang and bands like that have been doing some cool stuff in that vein. Kyle from Body Snatcher has been pushing a lot of those style of bands and stuff too. It's cool.
I mean, dude, if like you can listen to like beatdown bands and then listen to Body Snatcher and be like, oh, I get it. Like that's where like maybe that like breakdown it came maybe was inspired by. Like you can like the more I feel like, you know, nobody should ever like confine themselves to like one genre of music. You know what I mean? Like the more you explore heavy music, the more you can hear bands that you really fuck with like in different genres and be like, oh, okay, like, you know, that's kind of where that feel came from. They just like kind of made it their own. You know what I mean?
But I think that's what makes it interesting too, right? I love the fact that we have certain bands like you guys that are more hardcore and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, you're going to have some bands that are way more heavily influenced by technical death metal. And then it creates something entirely different. And some other bands have a lot of like slam in it. And you're like, oh shit, that's awesome. Like, I think it's cool that you can navigate like that, you know, like it's always subjective. Like I keep saying, like I love like hardcore parts and stuff like that, and yeah, I love stuff like Infinite Dead by Darius Murder. So it's cool to have like different areas like that, and as you said, then you can kind of understand where it's coming from after a while. You're gonna hear a band and you're like, pretty sure they like that kind of music. And I think it's awesome. It needs to be a blend, like if you want to unique,
dude. The melodic deathcore shit goes fucking insane, dude. Like, you know, like Mellow Death specifically, like I fucking love Black Dahlia Murder. Like I'm wearing, you know, R.I.P.
Rest in peace the boy.
Rest in peace the goat. You know what I'm saying? But then you see bands like Rocket Launcher that like really took that to a next level within our genre and within the revival, and it's just fun, man. Like Rocket Launcher is like the funnest fucking band, you know, I've listened to in a minute. Like I used to make this joke, like nobody can be mad while listening to Vampire Weekend. Like I don't know anybody that could be mad listening to Rocket Launcher. Like if we're playing with Rocket Launcher in Texas, and that is honestly what I'm looking forward to the most on tour, just because they're so fun. Like I'm gonna be smiling the whole fucking time. You know what I mean?
They're doing a Katie set too, right? Am I crazy, or are they doing it like they're doing it all in one, or it's like
I think yeah, I'm pretty sure they're doing a Katie set too. Yeah,
just gonna say it too, hands down to me, one of the best guitar player of the entire revival, like easily.
Oh yeah,
Sock is fucking insane. Absolutely,
he's fucking crazy, bro. Like I was actually, I just got back to Kentucky like last night, and the whole time I was driving, like it was like I think it was a 5-hour drive, probably longer. Tennessee's fucked. I've hit like so much traffic jams and shit like that. Like, but I was listening to the podcast, you know what I mean? And I was listening to the Rocket Launcher episode specifically, and I was just like, dude, this shit is so fucking cool. Like, I love Sock. He's insane. But like also hearing like that, you know, Bakugan and shit like that was just like he got bored and like put some shit together. Like, what?
Yep.
Like,
yep.
That's fucking like there's like high levels of autism happening, and I'm fucking here for it.
That's so sick, dude. Like, yeah, it's so reminiscent of, because that's what MySpace was. It was somebody who's like,
absolutely,
I'm doing this song, and that's what he's doing. And honestly, it's coming from me. Like I love deathcore, but I think it's no secret I love metalcore, especially like back then, like stuff like I Set My Friends on Fire and like goofy stuff. Like I'm a big fan of that as well, like even Easycore, 4 Years Strong, whatever. So like he's reminding me of these things. Like to me, that uplifting goofiness is close to something like I Set My Friends on Fire and all those kinds of bands, and I don't think
that shit's so important.
Yeah,
that shit is so important just to keep the genre from becoming stale. You know what I mean? Like, you know, fucking Logan, our guitar player, I've brought him up a couple times. He's a huge I Set My Friends on Fire, you know, person, and he fucking loves that band, and like I love that band too, but like I know that like in history, like everything kind of comes back in cycles and stuff like that. But like seeing all of this come back, it's extremely nostalgic, and it just feels good. It feels like, all right, we're back, dude. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, you need that too, because like I mean, it's no secret. Like we just talked that your EP is about murder and stuff like that. The dark stuff is awesome, but it's also cool to see like just the complete opposite, because like even not to the same degree, the same extent, but in the beginning of deathcore, as blood runs black, like sure it sounds kind of dark, but it's also kind of, it's uplifting. Those riffs are like, it's cool, it's melodic, it gives you so there's a place for both, and I think it's cool that we have some of that, because it's rare. It's like super rare, especially within deathcore. It's even rarer, but it's shout out to Sock, because like and Caddy went missing for that matter, because it's darker obviously, but it's still very melodic and cool to listen to.
They're on the goofy shit too, right? So it's even more of that.
I'm loving it. Love
Dude,
that.
funny enough, before we named the song If Cameras Didn't Exist, we were gonna do, so like, do you guys fuck with Bill Murray?
Oh dude, of course.
A little bit.
Yeah, I love Bill Murray.
Yeah.
So like that, I think it was Thickly, where at the end Caleb's like, I'm Caleb Shomo and this is my feature. Like I kind of had this idea. I was like, dude, wouldn't it be funny if we named a band like I Really Wish Rocket Launcher was on this song featuring Katie Went Missing?
Wow.
Yeah, and we called them up and was like, dude, do you want to do this? And they were like, yeah. And like unfortunately, like shit just didn't really work out in time, and we were, you know, a little unprepared going into recording. Like I wrote most of the lyrics for this EP was written in Noah's studio, like almost day of. I know that,
Makes
like,
it impressive in a way though.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like
everything in like one shot.
Well, like also like at the time I was working a job, you know, where I would go in at 12 and I'd get off at 10 p.m. and like, you know, I'm a fucking like 33-year-old, like I got bills and shit to pay. Like I don't always have time to like just sit down and like, you know, dive into something, but you know, we made it work, and you know, I would like to be more prepared next time for sure. But I feel like what we created was really cool, you know, so yeah, dude, it's just yeah, it's cool.
Awesome, especially with Noah. Like when I heard that, I think Dum told me prior to that, he was like, "Oh, they're gonna app." Kind of knew. I was like, "Oh my god, that's gonna be a perfect match." Like there's no way that it's not awesome, you know?
Yeah,
like,
man.
So it's cool to hear that he was even involved in some of the, like I think you mentioned earlier, like he's even involved in like
dude,
songs and stuff.
Like Noah is like, he's just a brain, dude. Like, you know, he'll be like, that was cool, maybe try it like this, and like he helped us like tweak, and like he really produces. Like he's not just a guy that like sits behind and is like, all right, you ready, and presses a button and then you get going. Like Noah has infinite ideas, and you know, I feel like that's prevalent within like all of his work, down to production to even, you know, just creating his music. So yeah, like Noah is a virtuoso. He's awesome. He's great.
I'm also gonna say, like, genuinely, if you don't like Noah, I don't think I can trust you, like, as a person.
Yeah, dude, Noah's fucking the chillest guy I've ever fucking met. I don't think I saw him frown once, man. Like, to put it in perspective, like his whole family is super chill like that too. Like his dad, dude, Noah's dad is fucking awesome, bro. So like we pull up, it's like 9 o'clock at night, and like we hear like, you know, like this I don't know the name for it, but like traditional like Mexican music like playing, and we're like, damn, is there like a function happening right now? And sure enough, we go around back, like Noah comes and grabs us, and we go around back, dude, and his entire family like was just immediately like, hey, what's up? Like, you know, I think they just got back from like a funeral or something like that, and they were celebrating somebody's life, and like they immediately brought us in. It was really warm. Like his dad shook our hand, hugged us, they fed us like the best quesadilla I've ever had in my entire fucking life. You know, he was like, you guys want to be here, blah blah blah, you want to hang out, chill. And it was just like, hell yeah, dude, it was super cool. And like you can genuinely see like how much like Noah's family supports what he's doing, and like how supportive they are of just like what we're doing in general. Like he gave us this big speech about how like, you know, no matter what we're doing, like success is found in like hard work and passion. And like, you know, all of that translated to Noah very well. Like they raised a great dude. And yeah, dude, you can just see the passion and his heart for what he's doing. And like I know that that guy is gonna be very successful. And I feel like, you know, in 20 years down the line, there's gonna be like people like, you know, what we're doing right now talking about him.
Oh, for
So
sure.
yeah,
1000%
absolutely.
sure. I'm gonna be making a video about him in the future. Like that's what I can see me in the future, maybe
Oh yeah.
more hair, maybe even more back pain, and just talking about Noah and what he did for the revival. And I could feel it. Like I'm a huge like could talk about that for a long time. I'm very spiritual as a person. You know, like meditation, like feeling people energy and vibe and aura. And the second I met Noah, like he has like this calming and reassuring energy type thing. And as an anxious person, like he just came in, and I don't remember exactly in which was at the show and everything, and I felt like, oh my god, like it's just like a calming presence. It's awesome. Super funny guy, like not meaning like he's but very very good positive vibe. That's what I said. Like if you don't like that person, I don't think I can trust you. And
Yeah, like
in
just
general. Like, I
saying
mean that.
to anybody on TikTok, if you don't fuck with Reverent, I don't fuck with you. Just putting that out there.
It's been
There we
said.
go.
It's been said. That whole, and just while we're here real quick, that the entire band, like Reverent, like they've been, I know we met them, I mean once, like in real life, whatever, but we have like we kept in touch, and we're talking like the nicest dudes, like seriously.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the entire
Super cool.
like just the coolest, kindest, nice people. Like it's like I cannot, like I'm just rooting for for these guys
Yeah,
to be the
dude.
big thing. Like that's basically what's happening.
And like, dude, they were so chill and they're so supportive, man. Like, they're listening to what we're doing. They're like, oh, that's fucking sick. Like, we hung out, I'd say we hung out with Noah and Mario probably most. We got to hang out with Josh for a little bit. We got to hang out with the other guys too, and they're all super fucking cool. But like, genuinely, like, that was like the coolest. And it, like, my thought process, I'm like, how is this gonna go when we get there? Like, what are my expectations should be? I go in with low expectations everywhere because I don't like to be disappointed. You know what I mean? And like, they exceeded my expectations by like a million.
That's so sick to hear, man, because that's what
Yeah.
you want, right? Like I know
Yeah,
it's gonna sound
absolutely.
corny, but you can hear it. Like you want, and I know you said like, oh, I wasn't prepared and stuff like that. Yeah, but so in those situations, that's what matters. It's the vibe you're
Yeah.
gonna have. It's if you're comfortable. Imagine having to write everything in a place where you're not as comfortable as you were, or maybe in a
Exactly.
different setting. It would be an entire different result, right? Like without
Yeah,
those inputs,
100%.
that stuff matters a lot. Like it changes, and then it's released, so you're kind of stuck with it. I mean, if you hate it, it's gonna be a long time. So that's
Or
you know,
you stop doing Myspace Deathcore is what you do. You switch styles.
you do something.
Fuck
else,
it, we're doing
exactly.
gent now.
Yeah. Oh, please, for the love of God, don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't
No,
want to
man.
keep your breakdown sound, please.
You don't want to
guys-
see execution become Sumerian core, dude?
We're good. We're good. Keep the hardcore.
We can
roots
postpone.
and
Yeah,
we can
absolutely.
postpone the gent revival for like another 5-6 years. All right.
Yeah,
I would say 50
absolutely.
years would be 50 years. I would.
There's
be okay with
gonna,
that.
I'm telling you, dude, in like the next like 5 to 10 years,
It's
there's
soon.
gonna be a band that comes up sounding like volumes,
Yes.
and it's gonna explode.
Oh, it's in the next couple years for sure. It's
Yeah.
because we're already at MySpace Deathcore right now. It's coming, man.
So I have another question.
Yeah,
how
definitely.
how can we prevent this? That's my no, I'm just-
Violence.
How can we- yeah, you
Violence.
know the meme of like, I think it's Interstellar, like when he's like banging in the like the meme of like he wants to go no screaming. Like, that's what I have in mind right now. Sorry. It's like, and you see like you're in the room with people trying to bring Jen back, and he's just like, no, don't do that. Sorry. Sorry, fans of Gent. I'm just not the biggest.
Dude, Nick Nocturnal is so pissed right now.
Yeah. Hey, did you see? By the way, sorry, it's going to be another topic.
Yeah, he's back.
Just wanted to underline that. It's.
Yeah, I saw that tonight.
Say that it's rare in metal that everybody's just like, "Welcome back." So everybody's like happy and so it's a rare thing. I'm not saying everybody. I see Dumb's faces. I'm for sure.
He's back and he's blonde.
He's back and he's
Reddit.
blonde.
I mean, I don't count Reddit as like everybody, but it's cool. Like I think everybody's glad. Like he's a cool dude. So welcome back if you ever watch yourself.
You guys managed to play a show or a couple of shows when you guys were out recording too, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, so we played LA. I feel bad. I can't remember. There was so many bands on that bill, dude. I can't remember everybody's names.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I remember it was just really cool. And specifically the moshers in LA are built different. Yeah, those guys mosh hard as fuck, dude. Like there was this one guy, I remember I was talking to somebody, like somebody walked up to me and they did the typical thing, like, "Oh, who are you here to see?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm in Execution." They're like, "Oh shit, that's cool. And I was like, "Yeah, man, the moshers out here are kind of crazy." And they were like, "Yeah, do you see that guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "His name is D1." And I was like, "Oh fuck." Like, and he got that name for a reason, man. He was like fucking people up. Like I think it was like one of the last songs that we were playing. It was probably like either like, I don't know if you guys have like saw our like live sets on like YouTube or anything like that, but we usually, and this is also can segue into a funnier like current story, but we've been ending our set. We call it the Oceano Blue Balls, where we just do like that first beginning of District of Misery. And I remember I looked at that guy. I was like, "I heard there's a guy here named D1. Prove your name to me." And he fucking did, man. Like he was insane. This shit was cool as fuck. Plus, like the place we played, man, it was like you could tell that it was like set up for like photos and stuff because it had one of those walls that like kind of like goes up and it's white. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Sure.
And it was just this big fucking open room and just everybody was kicking each other's ass and it was super fun and super cool. And yeah, we had Josh hop on a song with us. It was fucking awesome.
Is that your first
awesome.
time rolling up to LA? It's like first LA
Yeah,
show?
absolutely. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like I've been in Execution for a year now, and like this band has taken me to places that like I haven't been in many years. Like I've got family in Houston, so like, you know, when I went out to Houston, my two cousins came out, like they parked outside of the End and I got to see them and hang out for a little bit before we went and played. And like going to LA, going to just all of the states that we even stopped in just for like a B&B, like, you know, OKC, like Oklahoma City, that place is liminal as fuck. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, no hate at all. But it's like, I felt like I was in the back rooms, man, because like you're driving and it's like, there's like, it's really flat out there. And then there's just this big ass fucking Hard Rock Cafe, like venue. And like, they had a Waffle House in their parking lot. Like, what the fuck is that? But then like everything else was just super flat and not as big. But it was just super
like
cool, like
Nintendo 64 level almost. Like it's like
yes,
there's nothing,
dude.
and there's like one thing. It looks like created like that.
Me and Cade, like, so the way that worked is we had rented a Sprinter van, and something happened where like a couple days before we were supposed to drive out to California, it fucking fell through, and we ended up having to take two different cars. So like what we did is it was Logan, Caden, Zach, Logan's girlfriend, and our friend Quentin in this big Jeep Wagoneer. And then it was just me and Cade in this like Ford Explorer. And like, dude, me and Cade were just geeking off of how crazy Oklahoma is. Like, it's just like, it's insane. It's so incredibly flat. And then you get to OKC and it's just like, what is going on here? Who's saying you can build this here, but then nothing else around? Like, it just felt like very backroomsy. But the B&B there was fucking awesome. It was really cool.
You guys are playing there on this upcoming tour with you guys are playing with the Goats and Squelching. Am I crazy?
Oh yeah.
That's gonna go crazy.
Mauled Execution, Squelching.
Yeah, dude, that shit's
In
gonna be fucking
OKC,
insane.
dude, you were
Why do
talking
we
about the
live-
moshers in Cali, but man, OKC's coming different too, man.
Hey,
Why
I'm
are we
ready.
living
I'm
here,
ready.
dude. Like we're missing all the that's a crazy show, man. Squelching, you got like mold. That's gonna people are gonna go insane. That's crazy. Where is it? Sorry, where's that?
In Oklahoma.
It's an OKC,
Oklahoma,
yeah,
okay.
Oklahoma City.
How many hours drive down if we go? No. Sorry.
Yeah, we gotta
It's-
find like maybe Oklahoma like plane tickets are like cheaper than going to LA or some shit, you know?
Hell yeah.
We missed too many shows, dude. Like that's crazy. It's awesome. That's gonna be great for sure.
Hell
Talk-
yeah.
talk to
Hopefully
me-
there'll be footage out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I think. I hope.
Talk to me. I mean, speaking of like this this tour and stuff, talk to me about your guys' relationship with Mauled, because you guys are kind of from the same place. Like, do you guys
Dude.
go like way back, or like what's the story? there?
Yes, yeah. So execution goes back farther with Mauled than they do with even me, man. So like they're in, you can look it up on like Spotify or Apple Music. There was
Yeah,
we
they got the
actually we did a split called Wig Split. And we ended up taking that music down because it was just like what we were rebranding. We were, reinventing ourselves. But like, not gonna lie, before Execution was a deathcore band, we were a slam band, right? So like, your typical like Waking the Cadaver, like almost like meme slam, almost like not completely memey, but like funny enough, I actually named one of the songs Gastrointestinal Cricket Infestation. I was the one that named that song before I was even in the band. And like I don't have it out or
That's
anything, but
pre-
like
That's pre.
oh
Wig Split,
yeah,
too.
dude. So it goes deep low key with me in this band. So like I remember Zach, they recorded a couple songs with Eli from Gates to Hell, because Gates to Hell is also Louisville natives, you know what I mean? And I know that Eli, he does music production and stuff out there. And I remember me and Zach we were roommates at the time. So he came home and I was like, yo, like how did it go? And he was like, oh, it was great. It was fucking awesome. Eli actually just sent me the tracks, like the raws. Like I want to listen to them. Like, am I able to hook up Bluetooth to your computer? Because I have like nice studio monitors. I haven't got it set up here yet, just because I just moved. But like where we were at, I had a pretty decent setup, and I was like, they're not Bluetooth, but if you email it to me, we can listen to it. So like he emails it to me. And of course, like I have my mic, I have an audio interface, I have a DAW, everything. And like as we're listening to it, like sneakily, I'm downloading it and putting it in a Reaper. And I'm like, that's cool. Let's put some vocals on it. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude, like let's just put some bullshit ass vocals and memes on this and like just dick around and have fun. And so we did that. So like on my phone, we called it Memesecution. And it's so stupid. I'm not gonna lie, it's really dumb, but it was fun to do. And like it was funny. So like Logan, I didn't have Logan's number at the time, and like I knew Logan because me and Zach, we were in another band. We played with Logan's old band, and that's how all of that like got connected. And so Zach gives me Logan's number. Keep in mind, he doesn't have my number saved or anything like that. And I just sent him that. And he immediately calls me and is like, who the fuck is this? And how did you get this? Like, we just did this tonight. Like, it hadn't even been an hour. You know what I mean? And I was like, haha, it's Koda. And he was like, dude, that's fucking insane. Like, that's funny as fuck. And yeah, so like, getting back to what you asked, like Mauled kind of really put Execution on to, kind of reinventing our sound into moving into that deathcore, area of things. And then, they split with their old vocalist. And me and Logan and Zach and a bunch of our other friends were in a group chat, and I had recorded an Amur cover. And I sent it to him. And actually, I can't remember. I think it was, you have a henna tattoo of my name, or I'm butchering the fuck out of it because I'm on a podcast and I can't think. But yeah, so I recorded that. and sent it to the group chat because my friend Andrew was like a really big like Amir fan, and I personally I really really love Amir. That is Frankie Palmieri influenced my vocals in a way that like not a lot of bands have done. Like I'd say like my big three influences would be like Amir, like vocally would be Amir, Suicide Silence, and the band that originally made me want to start doing vocals was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this band, Beneath the Sky.
Oh
Like,
hell
do you
yeah.
fuck with Beneath the Sky?
Yeah,
7861,
7861. Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I remember that was the first that song was the first like song that I was like, I'm gonna try this screaming shit out and see how it
Mm,
goes. I was in like high
yeah.
school, dude. And
I
yeah,
mean that
so
intro
like
kind of does it. You know, it's kind of that was like a MySpace profile song material just
oh,
because of the
dude,
call
yeah,
out at the
it
beginning.
was
You know,
my
like
profile song for so long. You hear that dum dum, like that shit goes crazy. Actually, 6 Pound Dead, funny enough, is like heavily inspired by the song "Belle of the Ball" by um Beneath the Sky.
okay.
Like where it's like I think, 6 Pound Dead is like obviously like your blood was dripping from my hands. Dun 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 dun. I never felt so lucky. And when I heard that, I immediately thought of that song because that song goes dun 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 dun. Um, from all the promises you've made, dun 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 dun. You never learned to keep shit, dun 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 dun. It's not my fault you fell in love, dun 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 dun. With a thief and a liar. Like, so when I heard when Logan brought that riff to me, I was like, oh fuck, dude. Like, I'm hitting that cadence. Like, I fucking love this band. This is coming to me naturally. That's what I'm gonna do. So, but yeah, so basically, like, we start moving into this deathcore area, and that was like, that is a lot in part due to Malt. Those guys are insanely talented. We've played quite a few shows with Mauled, and they're fucking insanely talented, dude. Like, that's another band that I feel like, in the revival is going to be like super, super, super popular. I mean, they're already really popular, but I feel like they have like longevity in this genre specifically. And, if it wasn't for Mauled, who knows? Maybe Execution would still be a slam band.
Thanks to Mold, basically.
Yeah.
Thanks to
But
Mold, yeah.
I do gotta say, like Mold, to me at least, like Mold and Reverent would be like within the revival would be the equivalent of the big fours we had back then. Like
Oh yeah.
they are to that level. Like back then people would talk about like Job and Suicide and Whitechapel and all and Carnifex, whatever. I feel like Mold and Reverent are to that degree like leaders in the revival, like, and I think a lot
Oh
of people
yeah.
would agree with that.
100. If they
But
don't agree, they're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, those two bands are really out here doing shit. And like, I'm super honored that we're tight with both of them, going on a run with Mauled. I've been looking forward to this shit since literally the minute I heard that it was happening. Like, it's gonna be really fucking cool. And like Reverent, obviously, like, I've been glazing Reverent this whole fucking podcast, dude. We love those dudes. So yeah, it's really cool, and we're like honored and blessed to like have those people like in our musical career and endeavors. You know what I mean?
You guys are ripping a show on that tour with them too, right? Like first date of that tour?
With Reverent?
Yeah. Am I
Yeah, I'm
crazy?
pretty sure. Yeah,
The
I think
Arkansas
we've
show
got.
is with them.
Yeah. I know that Reverent is playing Louisville. Uh, I think it's
Oh,
announced
with the
with
is it the
Psychoframe.
Psychoframe? Yeah.
Yeah. They're playing like our favorite. It's my favorite venue. It's Execution's favorite venue. It's called Camp Space, man. Shout out fucking Dane and Kyle. They're making moves in Louisville, Kentucky, and bringing a lot of really cool bands out. Like Maul just played with Peeling Flesh at Camp Space, man. Like we've had
Be crazy.
Haywire at Camp Space, man. Like there's some crazy shit going on. It's super fucking cool to see it happening. But yeah, dude, like I'm kind of bummed that we're not going to be there for that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go to that show. Like, that's going to be fucking awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I gotcha.
Yeah, dude.
So that's what I was kind of wondering, because they're on your guys' like Arkansas shows, and that, I guess that's a routing show for them to get to the Psycho Frame run.
Yeah.
So it's happening at the same time after that date. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, man.
Well,
yeah, it's going to be cool.
What are some bands? I mean, we talked like Rocket Launcher and Mauled and Rev3rent. What are some other like revival bands you've been fucking with?
I fuck with Disfigured. I fuck with The Spoke. Oh my god, I fucking love The Spoke, dude. Like, that song they did with Boundaries. Like, dude, I fucking love Boundaries. That's like one of my like top 5 bands, because like, you know, 2024 was a really rough period in my life, and that's when like I really kind of like delve into Boundaries. Like, my my buddy Jared, I remember I was going through like a really rough breakup, and shit was just like kind of fucked up, and you know, I was struggling mentally a lot, and my buddy Jared, he came over, and I remember we sat down and we went through all of Boundaries like discography, and like analyzed it and shit like that, and that was awesome. So then when I saw The Spoke, you know, a band I fucking already love, drop a song with Boundaries, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was fucking cool. The Spoke, I fuck with Disfigured. Katie went missing, obviously. You know, other than Reverent Mauled, Psycho Frame is fucking awesome. Yeah, like, there's a ton of excellent revival bands, and I feel like every day I'm discovering more that I'm just like, holy shit, like, this band's fucking sick, dude. Like, it's really cool seeing shit happen.
And their age too is what always blows my mind. I'm like,
yeah, man.
Because
like,
back during MySpace, when most people were like 15, 16, 99% of everything that would come out was shit. You know what I mean? And then you look at the scene, it's like to a good level, like great level, super professional, like dedicated, taking. I'm like, shit, I wish we would have been more like that,
well, dude, the revival scene, you know, they're lucky in the way that they got to learn from everybody's mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, so in a way, in a sense, it's a lot purer than deathcore was back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, they're really tapped in to what's happening and what has happened, and they shed light and they honor that a lot. Like, I even love seeing bands like Jerome, for instance, start playing shows, Alicia playing shows, coming back. Like, there's so many bands, and I'm like, man, this revival, dude, like, cash in while you can, like, come back, dude, because if you do, it's gonna show out. Like, you're gonna get taken care of. People are gonna go crazy, especially like, unfortunately, like, first of all, fuck Depop, but like, you know, your merch is gonna sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
These old bands gotta stop sleeping on reprinting their old fucking merch and putting these Depop listings out of business.
Fuck up the Depop economy. Fuck up the Depop economy, dude. Seeing Despised drop the foil fucking hoodies again, I was like, thank fucking God, dude. Because those hoodies, like the OG prints, were going for like $300-$400 a pop.
Yeah, crazy. And, you know, there's something to be said. They're probably still selling some for crazy amounts if they were like the OG fucking hoodies and shit, but it for sure helped out to have some new reprints of some of that stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
It's crazy out there. But dude, it's happening it happens even with the newer bands, because a lot of these bands are just doing these such small fucking batches of merch, or like a 50-piece pre-order or some shit like that. So yeah, there's only fucking 50 pieces of that thing. So yeah, and then it resells for $150 on Depop, and you're wondering why.
Man.
It's like, man, print more merch. The people want it.
Exclusivity.
They're willing to pay that much for it. Like, come on, man.
Like, I'm a vinyl nut, bro. So like, you know, like, if these older bands start reprinting some of these like cool fucking albums on limited edition vinyl, like, I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm gonna swipe my card instinctively. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, that shit's awesome, dude. That's another thing. Revival bands, start making more vinyl. Like, I know Mauled just dropped a bunch of different variations of their vinyl, dude, and it went absolutely fucking insane. So like, hop on that Hop on that. I want to add more revival bands into my collection.
Selfishly, make more vinyls, please.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, man, we've been going on for a while now. I feel like we could still talk for another few hours. So I think we'll wrap it up here, but we're gonna have to have you back on, man. Because this was awesome, and I feel like we barely scratched the surface on things we could have talked about.
I'm to blame. Like I really went, it was so interesting. The tattoos in person conversation.
Hey, I'm here
and
for
stuff.
it. I love it.
But I do agree. I think you should come back because like obviously it's still in the beginning for you guys. I know you're going to do a lot of stuff, so that would be great. For sure.
I would love to, man. I would love to. Like I said, I feel super honored to even be on this podcast. I was telling Dom before, like, I actually hopped in this room. Like, I've been listening to this podcast for like quite a minute now. And like the way I go to sleep, like I've had ADHD and like really bad insomnia. So like if I don't have some sort of noise going on, like I can't sleep. And like I've been listening to the Brutality podcast probably for like the last month, like every night. You know what I mean? So like, I was just telling him like the Suicide Silence episode you did was fucking crazy, bro. Like I love seeing that. And we were talking about like, people that were in the deathcore scene that might not be in the deathcore scene anymore, seeing like their perspective is like super cool and unique and interesting. So what you guys are doing is super fucking cool. And like, I very appreciate it. And like I said, I'm mega honored to be on here. But before I go, just to make you feel a little bit better, Yan, like, so the reason why, like, obviously I wanted to play music and stuff like that, but where like the tattoo culture and the music culture like intersects is the guy that I was working for at this little tattoo company called White Rabbit Art and Tattoo Company. He was in a band, and his guitar player actually was Brian Garris's cousin. And I remember like coming up, like sometimes we'd shut down early and they would come in and they would like practice. And I think at one point I tried out for that band, but like something happened where I didn't make the cut. And like it's all intersected. Like every shop I've worked in, there's been somebody in that shop that also makes music. So it's really cool to see those worlds collide. And I feel like they feed off of each other very much. So, I feel like we were all still pretty on brand, talking about tattoos.
Yeah, we weren't talking about Barbies, which
exactly.
No problem. But we were still in the realm of extreme things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a vibe thing too. You know what I mean? Like it's like first time I talked to you, and it's like, are we friends? You know what I mean? Like when that happens, it's like for sure I'm going into different directions, and it makes it super interesting. So no, it was awesome. I think for what it's worth, when time goes by like that, that's when we know. That it was fun and it was entertaining. So, and thank you everybody in the chat, by the way. Like people were super talkative. I think everybody had a good time. So
you had the homies showing out for this one too,
oh yeah,
so,
dude. Yeah. I called a bunch of them before, and I was like, yo, you're gonna tune in, like this is gonna be fucking awesome. So it feels good to see all my friends like hop in and like talk. It was kind of like hard. Like I would like look over and I would read a couple, and it was just cracking me the fuck up. Like Zach said, if you don't fuck with Reverend, I'm gonna kill your mother. Like that shit is just like
hey, you need a couple people like that in your life,
Oh yeah.
You want them on your side. You want them on your side.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I feel like. Go ahead.
No, you go for it.
I was just gonna say, I feel like if you're into heavy music and stuff like that in general, like there's got to be a couple screws loose. You got to be a little unhinged. You know what I mean?
I keep saying it. We're all weird, dude. Like it's not, you know what I mean? That's why when I see rules in metal, right? Like you cannot do that. I'm like, who are we trying to like? we're all super weird. Like there's no rules or whatever. Like we're just, you know, nobody in their right mind is just going to be like, oh, so that person is screaming. I'm just going to listen to screaming music now. That's all I'm going to hear. Like just people yelling all the time with down-tuned guitar. And yet here we are. So you're going to be a bit crazy. And
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, man. I'd love to give you the room though before we hop off to shout out the things you got going on. 'Cause you got an EP, you got some touring, you got some shows. I'll let you present it to the people.
Absolutely. So It's About Murders coming out December 1st. Our new single just dropped. Check that shit out. If you like the new single, dude, you're not ready for what's on this EP. We've got a couple features on there. I think you guys will fuck with them. I know that I sent you guys the EP a little bit early and you checked it out and you're fucking with it.
We
so
can
like,
confirm.
you know,
we can corroborate. It's dope.
Definitely check it out. If you love heavy music and you just want to go out and come to a show, come check us out, man. We're gonna be touring. I think it's like 10 days. Like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool as fuck. Come out, talk to us. Like we're cool people. Buy our merch, please. Also, we get a lot of DMs asking like, "Where's my merch? Where's my merch?" People are getting like upset with us. When we first dropped the pre-orders for the merch, that day we had so many orders that it literally shut down our PayPal. So like all of that money that went into there, that's locked in a PayPal account. All of this shit is coming out of our pockets. So like obviously we had to get the money up, getting everything printed. Like it's just taking some time. So if you ordered merch, just know it's on the way. You don't have to message us. We're not scamming you. Just shit takes time. You know what I mean? Plus we're getting ready for like tour, all of that. It's coming to you. Don't worry. We're going to have merch on the road. So if you didn't get time to hit that pre-order, definitely come out to the show. We're going to have all the shit there. I think it's like hats, shorts. We've got like a jersey. We've got a hoodie. We've got a shirt. Like come out, check it out, grab some merch, fucking talk to us, hang out, and then just enjoy yourself and have fun. Revel in deathcore. That's what we're here for.
Hell yeah, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for doing this. We're both, I'll speak for Yan as well, but we're both really excited with what you guys have got coming out. I can't wait for people to hear all the new music and for you guys to go out on this tour. And I don't know. I think next year is going to be a good year for you guys. So we're rooting for you guys, and we're excited. So, and you'll have to come back on. We'll have to talk about Death Touch and some other things of the sort.
Oh, dude! Yeah. Of course, I was like, dude, this guy's deathcore Nardwuar. Like, oh, Death Touch, R.I.P. man.
Look, you avoided it by saved by the bell, as they say.
Thank fuck.
All right. Well, we'll let you get on with your night. But again, thank you so much, man. Yeah. We'll be talking.
Hell yeah, excited to.
All right. Have a good one, man.
Take care, dude.
You too. Take it easy, guys.
If you made it to the end of this episode, thank you for watching. And hey, while you're here, hit that subscribe or follow button and a review. If you're watching or listening on a podcast platform, it would mean the world and it helps out more than you know. A big thank you as well to all of our supporters over on Patreon and on Twitch. New episodes every week, links to our Patreon, Discord, and socials in the description. We'll see you soon. We're out.